Alright, hit the go live. Do a quick sound check. Make sure it's the right microphone, which now it should be. Alright, hit the go live. Do a quick sound check. Make sure it's the right microphone, which now it should. Sorry, I was just waiting until it switched over to make sure. I have been having some issues recently with my mic. Sometimes if I plug it in, it turns me into like a chipmunk because it has the weird bug with it. Oh, I'm salty. Oh, I am salty. I will get to why, but salty. Big salty. I need to find raised. What up, everybody? So we have Friday Night Fights. It's Cool Umbrellas tournament he hosts every Friday. Now it is nighttime in Europe, so this is the European time zone one. He tends to switch off which one he's hosting. So yeah, this is the European time zone one. It's best of one blind picks until the final, which is a best of three blind pick usually. It's a quick tournament. It's a little, I don't want to say casual. Everybody in here is trying hard, but like, you know, best of ones, it's a little easier to just casually throw in. Blind picks can help with some of the matchups. So I am in this one. I'll check out the bracket for you while these two build their armies. So, round one, Harvest Warrior, Saber's Regnum. Whoever wins that will come fight me. I got a bye round apparently. Woo! Bowmore and Raced, we're watching them right now. Shogunik waits for the winner of Big JP and John FB. And RTK's Curio versus Bjorn Nordlander. That one, Bjorn. I just played a best of three with Bjorn for the ODM tournament, and that's why I am the big salty. I am the biggest, saltiest rat. Just exited a game where it was like, I don't know. There's a couple things that were fucked with it, where it's just like annoying. Annoying Warhammer 3 things, you know? Like nothing specific, nothing that like Bjorn did, but it was just like, I don't know. I had one of the things that was my Miao Ying was chasing around a Stegodon and would just like put her nose in his ass and sniff his lizard bum rather than swing. And I'm like, you are way faster. You are inside of his model. Will you please swing? And she's like, I can't. He's moving. And I'm like, yeah, if you can't swing at all, if he is moving in any capacity, it is going to be very difficult to play this game. And she's like, well, he's moving, so I can't swing at all. I'm like, fucking great. So I just had to let a Stegodon shoot me or follow it around the map and let everything else shoot me. So everything else shot me and I lost that game. Also, apparently, fucking Jade Lancers lose to Feral Cold Ones, which is great. So a unit half the cost just bodied my entire Cav Corps, which is pretty fun, which is pretty amazing. So, yeah, just general Warhammer 3 saltiness, nothing really specific, just kind of like bleh, bleh. Angry. And then game 2 was Dark Elves, nothing strange about it. That one's just like, hey, I love losing to Dark Elves. Again, I fucking love playing Dark Elves all the goddamn time. I love Dark Elves. I love seeing Dark Elves every day. I love Dark Elves. I'm going to put up the tent while I rant at you. And we wait for the players. I love Dark Elves. I love how Malekith is cheaper than Scarbrand, but he's way better, and a caster, and a combatant, and on a dragon. That's really fun. I love Dark Elves. I love having my Slaanesh frontline lose to them, while also having my mobility lose to them, while also having my Lord lose to them. It just feels like they're better. I love Dark Elves. I love Dark Elves. I love Scourge Runner Chariots that I catch with my Hellstriders in melee combat, and my Hellstriders take more damage than the Scourge Runners do. I love Dark Elves. Dark Elves are fun. I love when I catch the Dark Elves with Seekers. I have Seekers, armor-piercing 1,000 gold cavalry catching Scourge Runner Chariots. And the Scourge Runner Chariots leave the combat, and the Seekers have taken more damage than the Scourge Runners. I love Dark Elves. Oh, I love Dark Elves. I love them. They're so cool. They're so good. Everybody loves Dark Elves. I'm back. We're loading into the game. And the tent is up, making the lighting a little less fucked. Because it's really bright outside. See, I'm just salty. So should you pick bleak spears or dark swords? Probably dark swords. I installed the game, I had Valky and a Bloodthirster, lost a temple card. What up, Mr. Casual? How you doing? How's everybody doing? I sense you play something against Dark Elves, yeah. Yeah. Oh! The Cathay game was fine. It was just like, if Miao Ying had been able to actually effectively kill the dinosaurs I was sending her after, I maybe would have stood a better chance. I also thought Jade Lancers would beat Feral Cold Ones. Now, like, there's a lot of context, right? When you, if you put them on the same, like, on multiplayer crossroads with no trees and nothing, and you have one Feral Cold One charge one Jade Lancer, Jade Lancers will probably win it. I honestly don't know. But in the game we were playing, it was like, Feral Cold Ones would get the charge on one of my Jade Lancers. And I'm like, oh, okay, he got the charge on me. He's going to win that. Sure. I get that. Sure. And then I send the other one around to get a rear charge on the Feral Cold Ones. I'm like, now these Feral Cold Ones are surrounded. I got a charge on them as they got a charge on my other guys. I should be able to win this, right? And they're doing a bunch of damage to the one they charged. My Jade Lancer's doing no damage to them. And I am stalling for time while the army's set up. But... So then it's like, okay, wait, so when I got a rear charge, you did 0 damage, and when they got a rear charge, they did all the damage. Okay, that unit's only 450 gold, you guys are 850 apiece, so I kind of need you to go do other shit. And then, like, later, Feral Cold Ones would be routing, and I would run after them to rout them again, and nearly dead Feral Cold Ones versus nearly dead Jade Lancers, I would look back and my Jade Lancers are dead, and it's like, okay, kind of need you to run them off. And then a different one, a Jade Lancer runs down a nearly dead Feral Cold One, gets a rear charge on it, a rear charge on a nearly dead Feral Cold One. He shatters it, and I'm like, nice, and then he routes for no reason and runs off the map. Like, there was no one around him, and he was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm out. So it was just like, the whole game was just like, so we big tilted. But the armies are done setting up, so I can quit stalling. For the Dark Elves of Bomar, we have triple Shades, all of which are the basic Shade variant. We have triple Dark Riders, Dark Shards as well. Looks like 5 of them. Some are shielded, some are not. Then a Dread Spear, Bleak Sword, Frontline, Malice, Darkblade. Pretty good choice into the coast. And then a Sorceress of Fire with Fireball and Burning Head. For Raced, in the Vampire Coast, we have 1 Scurvy Dog in Vanguard, another in the trees over there, so it looks like 2 total dogs. Looks like we have 2 Sirens, 1 Mourngull. Slowly seeing more and more Mourngulls. Yeah, more and more Mourngulls. Sword and Board, zombies, and then a bunch of pistol zombies. 1 Depth Guard in the distance, looks like double mortar. Vampire Fleet Captain of Vampires with Wind of Death, Invocation of Heck, and Drown Dead. And then Aranessa Saltspite. Hello. On foot with her net, All Hands Ahoy, and Manan's Luck. Cool, cool. I used to unironically like Aranessa in the Bretonnian matchup. Coast versus Bretonnia. I did like her there. A lot of good Coast players and a lot of good Bretonnian players told me that that was a bad idea. It worked sometimes. It works sometimes. I won't pretend that it worked every time. Dark Elves are advancing. Going to get pounded by mortars on their way up, but that is the accepted cost. You know, artillery is always going to get its value off on you right away. Mourngulls appear from the darkness with their stalk, surprising the Shades. But Dark Riders will be able to peel them off, and I think with some Shade support, they'll honestly be okay. But honestly, it looks like the Shades are just going to ignore the Mourngulls for now. They really want to take out those mortars, as already 2 of their Dark Shards are feeling the burn. What up, Coma White? How you doing? Big Burning Head cast, almost half health's gunnery mob. Does a little bit of tickle damage to other ones. What is that? Is that a summon? Any of these summons? No, it looks like they're all real for right now. Dark Riders chasing the Mourngulls back into the coast formation. And in the distance, 1 dog in the trees did get murdered outright. It looks like the other dog... There it is. Other dog has crept up and is now attacking Shades and Dark Shards. So 3 of the 5 Dark Shards are really not feeling the love right now. They are in a lot of danger. Both mortars still uncontested, still firing. The Shades were not able to fully get up and start shooting, and now Sirens are chasing them down, and things are looking really dire. Excuse me, for the Dark Elves. Dire indeed. Now, these shades should be able to beat the scurvy dogs. Honestly, even the sirens should be pushed back, but the main point is it's all stalling. And while they are stalling, 2 mortars are tearing them apart. Now, on the far side, things are going a little bit better for the Dark Elves, where they have Dark Shards and Shades in the trees so far covered, and the Sirens and Animate Hulks are getting bodied a little bit. And here he is, Malice. It's time for him to attempt to turn the tide, otherwise Dark Elves will lose. Malice does need to hard carry. Dark Elves do generally rely on Malekith or Malice, or whoever their lord is, to do kind of an outsized amount of carrying if they are going to win games. Another big burning head is going to take out some zombies and then tickle other zombies. Don't think it'll be enough to really get rid of them, though. These animated Hulks and Sirens are just ignoring Malice entirely and really going after the Dark Shards, which I think is good play. Raced is ahead on the balance of power and the damage value. I would tend to agree. Araness has just been running around having the time of her life. Vibing, surviving. Good for her. Mortar's also still firing tons of ammunition left. And the Dark Elf front line is entirely crumbled. Yeah, things are looking real good for the coast right now. I do wonder what's going to be able to kill Malice, but eventually if you have an entire army left and just Malice, you can grind him down through sheer attrition. Healing caps do exist. Spearfisher's Net. Ooh, Spearfisher's Net on the Shades, giving them 8 melee defense and locking them in place for the Sirens and Mourngulls to catch up. It looks like the Sirens lost their attack orders briefly, kind of got lost in the sauce, attacked the air for a hot second, but Aranessa caught up and still getting good damage down on these Shades. Pistol mobs are pushing out, doing some nice hokey poking. And so far, I don't really see too many summons out for the coast. So everything you see is real. They do have to be careful about, one, friendly firing their own depth guard as they shoot at this fleeing marauder, Dark Shard, but also the depth guard really shouldn't chase that unit too far, because they'll end up really far from home and then not matter in the rest of the game. The depth guard are too important. Just send them somewhere else. Pistol mob's doing fine. They should be able to withstand the Dark Rider charge. It's 2 wounded. It'll get in there, fight for like a hot second, and then rout. There we go. But the Siren and Mourngull advance with Aranessa using her net really profited. That like full health Shade is gone. Another Dark Shard shatters, and things are looking rough for Bowmore. On the far side, I mean, Malice is still winning. He's winning whatever he fights, but as we saw, he's been in this exact fight for quite a while, and it's not amounting to too much. Sirens in the distance are fading as the Shades will push them off the Dark Shards. Shades having pretty decent melee stats, especially with Murderous Prowess popped, though I think that might have worn off by now. Still, Shades were distractions, which is all you need sometimes. Now, the Vampire Caster has to be careful. I don't know why she's committed to this melee so hard. Now, the Vampire Caster 60-40 for melee stats is not bad at all, but you don't want to be this close to Malice, especially with your caster, because Aranessa is not like another caster. It's not that you could just throw her away, no issues. The Mourngulls did cling to life. Their leadership was super low at one point, but it looks like they withstood the crumbling and now are just using their hunger to regen up as long as they can stay in combat with something, preferably dying units as they heal. The Depth Guard are not being rallied, as we worried about. Thankfully, they're almost to the edge of the map, so they can turn around and come back, but it's all if Racist remembers they even exist at all. Another Burning Head for Bowmore, just trying to clear out some more chaff. Again, still not summoned, still all these things are real, and Mortars still have a lot of ammunition left. Though that one is about to die. Dark Elf caster has run off to safety. Malice still standing in the middle of Animated Hulks, but these Animated Hulks are about to die, and I really think Raced has to pull this Vampire Fleet Captain out of there. I installed the game, Lost Valkyria. For all cooldowns, a single grindy student in the game. Need to hide the mold of growing bats. Who the fuck is he talking to? Everybody. Why do you have sheets connected to your in-home stripper pole? For audio quality. Are you building it for it? Streaming when I want to do Cario, the name more an iconic duo. What is Cario? Are you talking about cardio? Alright. I'll catch up with more chat later. As the slow part has ceased, Mortars turning to exact their vengeance in the last few Dark Shards. Vampire Fleet Captain, I always do that. Vampire Fleet Captain trying to get away from Malice for now. Dark Elves get a little bit of a last bastion, but it's not much. It's mostly just Malice at this point. Mourngulls, Mourngulls, Mourngulls. Are they all dead? It looks like they are all dead. The Shades did finish off the last of them. Some zombie pirate mobs are going to go fight Dreadspears. Dreadspears might stay in the fight for longer than you'd think at that low of HP, because they should be winning in combat versus zombies. Wow, the zombies are winning in combat? Really? Okay. Well, yeah, that's going to shock their leadership down enough that they get pushed off. I would have thought they would win that. Everything is routing for the Dark Elves except for the Caster and Malice. Another Burning Head, I assume, poked this guy a little bit. Or something. Don't know. Shades Terror out just from Sirens being near them. Very nice. Now, it is a actually pretty realistic probability that Malice kills like everything left. That is a possibility you need to prepare yourselves for. Dark Elf Sorceress of Fire is no match in melee for the Vampire Fleet Captain. 60-40 versus 39-30. It's just not going to be real. Ooh! I am very surprised she got off that point-blank fireball, and that it went off that quickly. Like, everything about that was surprising. And that's, I mean, it's meaningful damage. She has to get it done, but... There we go. Negative 55. She might honestly shatter. Yep, she dies. She dies, she dies, she dies. 2 summons left of the Drowned Dead. Malice is immediately beelining for the caster, but Aranessa is going to Spearfisher's Net for him. That I don't know about. That was your last use of it. It's a big debuff, and it's a net. I think you probably wanted to use that when the Depth Guard were nearby, or you intended on shooting with a pistol mob just to let Aranessa catch him for one fight. I don't think is going to be worth it, especially because this Vampire caster isn't even gaining any ground, so Mouse is just going to go after it as soon as it wears off. Yeah, I think that was a wasted net. Big damage onto the Vampire Fleet Captain. I'm calling it now. I actually think the Dark Elves just won. They won. Yeah. Malice's heal cap is within sight. The only thing now that Bowmore has to do to win the game is to not forget to transform before Army Losses hits. If he can do that, he will be fine. The Vampire Caster did die while we were looking away because Malice kicked ass, and Tazarkan is going to come out right now. Might have been a little early. I think Malice had just a bit more love left to give before he needed to transform into Malice. But yeah, it's taking out both the pistol mobs now. The mortar is useless at this point because it's like, I mean, I don't want to mean useless, like the mortars did incredible, but from this point of the game on, there's nothing left for the mortars to do as Malice slaps the absolute shit out of Araness Assault's Pipe. Both these pistol mobs are decaying. I think Malice should focus on killing off all the pistol mobs rather than sitting in a fight with an anti-large duelist. Like, you got some good shots on her, hooray, good for you, but it's clearly not going that way anymore, so run away. Fight pistol mobs to regen your health for a bit, wait to get your buffs and debuffs back, and then go from there. Cardio, alright, I was right about that. Black Knight. Stratus bought back the Mournbull, those are his babies. Help me out your hobby to keep the multiplayer campaign. CA should look to do buffs instead of nerfs. Probably. Every time I start looking at chat, Malice actually lands a hit onto Aranessa, and she is not undead. She can actually just rout. And it looks like she was awful close to doing so, but she throws out all hands ahoy, and Malice just smacks her right in the face. She is going to rout as Malice continues fighting, but he has to get out of these Depth Guard. He needs to regen up a little bit, and somehow Aranessa holds on. Somehow her leadership spiked so low, but she doesn't give up. She keeps fighting. Army losses hits for the Dark Elves, but then Malice fucking manages to finally rout her. I think it might be too late, though. He stayed in the fight with Aranessa for way too long. There it is. He needed that real bad. A Reaper of Souls to try and heal him up, doing really good damage to these Depth Guard. And he kills off Aranessa with that. Very, very nice. Malice is still stuck fighting these Depth Guard. I think he should be using this moment to charge over to the pistols. He doesn't want to be sitting in these Depth Guard. They're actually dealing damage to him. He needs to be healing off easier prey. Please, Malice, please. Go fight something else, not the Depth Guard, for the love of God. He's getting way too low. That's it. He's lost it. I honestly think Bowmore could have taken it if he hadn't stayed and fought Aranessa for so long. He needed to take advantage of all these weaker units around that he could fight. Damn. That sucks. Are you winning, Malice? I honestly think Malice could have won there. I think that was just an unfortunate mistake, because, like, I can see how it happened, for sure. that, like, you know, oh, you did such good damage to Aranessa, you took her from like full HP to 1/3. Oh, if you can just get one more hit. But sometimes like you can like get that I forget what the gambling term is it for it, but it's like good money after bad, where that was cool, but this is a bad situation, you got really lucky, you need to leave this situation. But since he got those big shots, Bowmore was like, well, I can just win this and then run away. It was like, nah. Like, getting those shots at all was lucky. You shouldn't be here. And yeah, so that was brutal. That was brutal. GG, well played. All right. So that was one game. And I have Sabrus Regnum waiting to fight me. Cool. Cool. Rat, 1, 2, 3. Invite player. And I'll go get Sabrus in here. Alright, time to read how the pick and bans work, because I think it's blind pick. All rounds are blind pick, no global bans. All rounds are blind pick, no global bans. None? Huh. Weird. I mean, Sabrus plays Dwarves, and I think he has a build he really likes versus Vampire counts. So that doesn't seem like it would be a good idea for me. Malice be dying. It's true. Okay, I'll get the blocker back up. I will send Umbrella my thing. Cool. No global bans? Yeah. Yeah. I was tempted to play... Yep, there it is. I was tempted to play Vampire counts, but I know Sabrus Regnum plays a fuckload of Dwarves, and I had no interest in fighting Vampire counts versus Dwarves. I was not about it. All right. So we have Skaven into Dowie. All right. Okay. So we got that. We got that. VC cannot bring Crypt Horrors. You're trying that out? Yeah. That's probably a good call. That's probably a good call, my friend. Okay, what else do I need here? Nothing? Looks like nothing. What I'm hearing is I need nothing. So you're saying I need nothing. Yep, looks good. Sure. Well, I don't want to say what I suspect until we're in the game. Thank you for hosting, sir. Nerf Malekith, please. I agree, Nerf Malekith. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Yeah, I definitely, like, what's Malekith's spell called again? You mean Shorshila? I am definitely having some recency bias with Dark Elves, for sure. Because, like, Vampire Counts in Grand Cathay in about 80% of best of threes are banned. Roughly. So I don't ever get to fight them, so then I fight the next top tier faction, which is Dark Elves. You fight them over and over again. You're just like, oh, this is bullshit. I am 100% positive that if I played 100 games of Vampire Counts in a row right now, that I would be like, all right, fuck Vampire Counts. But the recency bias of just losing to Dark Elves over and over and over and over, like, it's just getting ingrained into my brain that, like, fuck this faction. I hate them. I hate them. They're stupid. What up, Recess? How you doing? So, the Dwarves versus Skaven. I normally would take Queek or Snitch. Normally. Like, I actually would. Not even just a meme. But Sabrus is well known for his hero blob of Gotrek, Felix, and Thoric, and all three of them can definitely kick Queek's ass. They can kick Deathmaster Snitch's ass, too. So I took a Warlock Master on foot to get Flensing Ruin to punish the hero blob. Because there's no other way to punish it. Like, foot characters are impossible to hit for anything besides infantry, and they'll body a lot of infantry, and Thoric even has Rune of Wrath and Ruin where you can just say nope to Death Runners. So I need the Flensing Ruin. I'm going to put him right behind the stone pillar in case there's a bunch of shooting. Other than that, I have 4 Jezzails in case of gyro cheese. So we need Jezzails to shoot at cannons or Jezzails to shoot at gyrocopters. So that's neat. And then we have globes to clear out basic infantry. Though I honestly suspect I am going to get massive vanguarded. So those are the things. You have to prepare for the Gotrek and Felix Hero Corps. You have to prepare for massive vanguard rangers and miners. You have to prepare for like 5 cannons all put together. So it's kind of wild. We have 2 Plague Monks. Plague Monks can do quite nicely against Slayers, which is neat. In the late game, Slayers can actually be a bit of a bother. Yeah. Okay. And then I have an Assassin to throw some debuffs, Gotrek, Felix, and Thoric's way over time. But I'm going to deploy my Plague Monks and Rat Ogres to look out for Vanguards behind me and such. Cool. Can't wait for a 2025 Norska DLC. Okay. So, it was the mass artillery, which we're honestly super fine with. Like, this is one of the ways to play against Skaven, for sure. It's not like super common, but it is literally one of the things I listed, so it's not like, what the fuck is going on? It's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's this thing. I haven't seen this for a while. But Jezzails should do fine. There's the Gotrex Felix Thoric blob, so far we're firing on all cylinders as to what we expected. Yeah. Okay, once the Jezzails get in range of the artillery, this will start looking a lot less bad, but for now it's going to look pretty bad. Because, I mean, mass artillery will do that in the early game. They will body the shit out of you.
What orders? Good, master.
I don't know why you guys are getting distracted now, but alright. Longbeards, okay. Alright, so Jezzails are doing their best. Rat Ogres push through and go get to those cannons that I can't quite reach. Rat Ogres go through and get to those cannons. You guys keep vibing. Plague Monks push forward. Yep, things look bad, but that's how it usually goes with mass artillery, is they just get such a range advantage on you at the start. They can do whatever they want. You just have to withstand it. And withstand it we will. First Flensing Ruin onto the Hero Hammer. It's going well. Zales are moving up. And these globes are mega fucked. Well, yeah, run away for now. See if you can. Okay. We have compromised most of the artillery. Most being a pretty operative word there.
Yes, master. Scurry. Slay, stab. Ready. Now,
okay.
ready now.
Plague Monk's still out there wilding. Plague Monk's doing great. We're down to the balance of power, but I think that will change. Okay, Jezzails that are back, shoot Thoric. Jezzails that are back, shoot Thoric. Just start doing damage to him. Okay. Plague Monks did fine there. Let's go fight Longbeards. These Plague Monks are going to go get the last cannon crew. These Rat Ogres, I'm just going to use them as pseudo dogs and chase down stuff. There. All the cannons are shut down. Cast Flensing Fun for everyone to enjoy. Before you get too mad at me for bringing Flensing Fun, they started it. Okay. Run away. Globes are getting butchered. You guys are doing fine. Rat Ogres are chasing things. Okay, I don't know where that crew is, but go find them. You guys just avoid the fight. Pop that to get more Flensing Fun casts back in. Everybody keep shooting Thoric. I guess we could shoot Felix and maybe try and like rout him or kill him so they don't have any healing left. Okay. Plague Monks and Skaven Slaves could chase those Longbeards. Rat Ogres come with me. Everybody chase that. You chase that. Whatever, shoot Thoric, because you can actually see him. Felix is too short. How are these guys? There we go. I was like, how are they not off the map yet? What the fuck? Plague Monks are routed, but it's okay. Okay. So Jezzails aren't going to run away, because it won't do any good. They'll just shoot. They'll shoot as long as they can darn shoot. Darn shoot and darn toot. Rune of Wrath and Ruin doesn't do too much to Jezzails, thankfully. We have another Flensing Ruin ready, as soon as we can get there. Shattered, shattered, shattered. Oh, Felix. Oh, Felix, you think you're safe in your hero blob? Well, I'm here to tell you that no, fuck you! Okay, I'm I'm getting worried that that's going to bug out or do something stupid, and I can't afford to have an overcasted Cleansing Ruin be stupid, so I'm going to go ahead and do what I have to now. Rat Ogre, stay out of the globe's way. I don't like how that trails behind him like that. It makes me nervous. Okay. Can't quite get to him, but it's okay. Giselles are still getting pokes off. Yeah. I'm not under any pressure here to change what's happening. I am between them and the Giselles. They have to come to me, and if they come to me, I'm going to Cleansing Ruin Felix and kill his ass. There it is. And that should be GG. Did I just double overcast? Oh yeah, because I can still naturally overcast, and Thor can overcast me. Got it. Still, it fucking sucks. Okay, globes, pour fire onto them before I send in the chaff. Globes, just shoot them, dude. Just shoot them. Come on. There we go. Army losses should take care of Thoric and Felix. Ooh, actually, Felix just straight up died. There's army losses. So I don't have to do anything there. And we'll send this full health Plague Monk after Go Trick. And you guys turn Fire at Will off, turn melee mode on. I never want to see you throw another globe in your entire life. Master Assassin, debuff him, run away. So, now we have the Assassin for debuffs. We have another Cleansing Ruin in 20-ish seconds. Ooh, don't get too close, though. I will use Rival High Talisman, and then I'll dive in, actually. 6 melee attack, my Assassin should be able to do some good work. And he misses his jump attack because he's a dumbass. I have 0 Winds of Magic Power Reserve left, so I guess an undercast is all I get, but we'll make it work. That should be GG. Bearded angry creatures when? When they're fun to play. Dark Elves are fun to play, it's too bad. Hey, it's Bjorn! What up, dude? How do you feel? How do you feel? Triumphant. The strongest of the Norlanders. What up, dude? Warlock Masters are adorable. I mean, you got nearly 3,000 value just Cleansing, ruining the hero hammer. Plague Monks did well. There was no Slayers, but there weren't really any elite infantry to stop them. And yeah, we just had to withstand the initial volley. Mass artillery builds like that can work, like for sure, but it is all about, can you withstand the awful first minute or two of the game, and then the lead shrinks grotesquely. Alright, GG. So now I have to go fight Raced. And Bjorn, if you're still in the chat, wait for me for your semifinal. Alright? Wait for me. You and me. What's the map before I pick this? What's the map? Watcher Ruins? I don't know what that is. Still more than enough damage to kill the hero core. That means not the last 3 years or so. Fucking got him. Okay, I'll invite Raced. I sent in my blind pick. And Watcher Ruins. Zinch Wastelands. Okay, this map looks like it has some terrain and shit, so I'm happy with my pick. As for the bracket, John FB did prevail over Big JP. He's now fighting Shogunik. Bjorn prevailed over RTK Curio, and he is waiting in the semifinals, and Raced and myself are in the other semifinal at this moment. I'll get the blocker back up, and let's dance. All right. Dark Elves versus Vampire Counts. I did pick VC. I haven't got to play them in 55 years. Dark Elves versus Vampire Counts. I fucking hate Dark Elves. You have no idea. I haven't watched any game so far, but not only play Kazric full cherry build. What the fuck rule is acceptable? Alright, Dark Elves, Dark Elves, Dark Elves. Dark Elves, Dark Elves. Hey, sir, might I interest you in Dark Elves? I heard you maybe possibly want to try some Dark Elves. I don't know what to bring against Dark Elves, man. They're gonna bring a whole bunch of 360 shooting units, maybe some Dark Rider Peter crossbows, Malekith. What's with the curtains? To help the sound. Help the sound quality and shit. Scourge Runners will probably wreck my Blood Knights. Oh god, I don't want to fight fucking Dark Elves. I hate them so goddamn much. I hate them. I fucking hate them. Hide the nude anime collection? For sure. For sure, bruh. Alright, let's figure this out. You... And actually, what's your Dark Elves? Dark Elves can win this matchup. Yeah. It's not favored for them. Now, without Crypt Horrors, because Cool Umbrella said no Crypt Horrors is the only reason he's letting VC in this tournament. Yeah, without Crypt Horrors, you might have some issues, but... Bring the Gorsemeister on his pimp wagon? The Dark Elves are just going to shoot him, though. Because wouldn't that just sound like the Dark Elves would shoot him? And Malekith would cycle charge him? And Malekith would breath attack him? No. This is not good. We do not like... whatever you said here. No, no, no. No, no, no. I wonder if that's even a good idea. Let's find out. Let's fuck around and find out, lads. Okay, get rid of all these. Get rid of all these. Get that. 100 gold. That's not a lot of gold. $100 gold. I need more gold. Murderous Prowess is OP right now? Hell yeah, it is. It is very strong. Kemler double White King? I really just want to leave Malekith up in the sky, though. It seems risky. Bring it? Bring what? Also, thanks for the donation. Bring Kemler? I mean, not Kemler. Gorst? Okay. Yeah, I'll bring Gorst. I'll bring Gorst. Fine. Kemler does not have a zombie summon. That's not bueno. Comedy option Kotep? I wish I had Kotep on this roster. Kotep's OP. Kotep is strong as hell. Gorst will die so horribly. I might be able to keep him alive, he said with confidence. I might have some ideas up my sneaky rat sleeve, he said confidently. Okay, do you have Unholy? Okay, so you do have that. Good, good, good. And then what else do we need? What else do we need? We have those. We have all of these. We have all of them. All right. This is looking like a GG angle. Yeah. Yeah, this is looking pretty solid. All right. Kotep isn't undead herder. You know what, Larry Mad? I don't like you. It's not about winning, it's about the meme message. I think you guys are going to like this. So, originally I was going with the Blood Dragon Lord to contest Malekith in the skies, but then I was worried about the Scourge Chariot, so I wanted to get a Blood Knight and the ROR Hex, the ROR Ghost Wraiths on a horse. Now, bear with me. Human boy, that's a stupid idea. Maybe it is. Human boy, that's a dumb. You're dumb, and we hate you. Yes, but let me finish. Human boy, you're stupid, and just let me finish a sentence. They do have Frostbite, and they're fast as hell. So maybe if they catch the Scourge Runners, maybe if they land one melee attack, they could slow the Scourge Runners enough to actually get them in melee combat and maybe actually hit them. Now, yes, I can hear you. Yes. Scourge Runners never take damage in melee combat. They never do. I know that. But I like running my head into a wall over and over again and then bitching about Dark Elves being OP after I do the same thing. I caught Scourge Runners in heavy cavalry with armor piercing and I didn't do any damage. Whoa! Yes. I know. But I have to try something. So, since we're taking Helm and Gorst, we can actually afford much more cav. So it's mostly cav. I have some basic zombies to protect Gorst, and if Raced went for like a blob of Blackguard, then Gorst is a Mortis Engine, and the zombies will protect him while he Mortis Engines some stuff down. Cool, right? But I'm guessing I'm going to get kited, so we have as much cavalry as we could possibly fit together to deal with that. It's VC, how could we possibly like it? Because it's like VC Bretonia. We have Helm and Gorst. The Tithe. More zombies. More zombies. More zombies. More zombies. And Scaly Spears. And then outside of that, we have just like all the fucking cavalry. Shogunik, you're waiting for me? I'm trying. I'm trying. So I'll pair Blood Knights with those guys so that when they slow down the targets, the Blood Knights can keep up. Other than that, we have some of these. I'll put the ROR dogs with this group. The other two dogs over here. Dogs are here to chase routing stuff, but also to chase down Dark Rider repeater crossbows if they want to kite my knights. Because the dogs are faster, so the dogs will get the engagement whether the Dark Elves want it or not, and then they'll have to turn around and fight. When they turn around and fight, my knights will be hot on their heels. I don't know if this will work, but that's the theory. All the single cav. All the single cav. What is this? Recharge rate. Reserves per second decrease cooldowns, but it damages me. Okay, so I'm going to want to use that like right away because I don't really care about the cooldowns. It's nice if you have Gaze and a Gash or something, but I don't. So I don't give a shit. Well, I don't know if I want to use it right away. Oh, I didn't look at his build. 411? Yeah, we win. I think. Well, if it's a Blackguard box, we win. If it's Scourgerunner Chariots, I don't know. Deathcaster, Spirit Leech, Fate of Buna. Okay. The one thing I worry about Scourgerunners into Vampire counts is, for once in your life, you're actually maybe not going to be able to do enough damage to do anything. Okay, so it's the Blackguard blob. I'm going to put these guys in the trees so that they don't just get Fate of Bunad and die. And we'll slowly walk our zombies up to say hello. Okay. Blood Knight's going to take some free damage from the Scourge Runners. I'll dodge what I can dodge, but they're mostly just going to go to Gorst and get some healing for free. Gorst is coming. Meme build versus meme build. That Dark Elf build is not a meme. That Dark Elf build is not a meme. That is how Dark Elves have been playing against counts for quite a while. So they do have a Siren, Red Ruin, Bloodwrack, Medusa. Okay, that's a bit of a meme. That's a wild one. Then they have Malice, Deathcaster, Scourge Runners. Okay. It's a lot of damage considering you have shields. Yeah, and I have the Banner of Blood Keep. When I'm not in melee, I get 20% missile resistance. And I have shields and 110 armor. The Scourge Runners do a shitload of damage. Why aren't my Blood Knights regenning? You have Master of the Dead, right? And an Unholy Lodestone. They're not in it. Oh, they have to get a little closer. Okay. Again, my Blood Knights are just taking damage. You can see the Scourge Runners are running out of ammo, so I'm just letting them shoot the Blood Knights because gotta use all the ammo eventually.
The power is mine.
And Gorst is gonna try and passively heal these guys up. I will throw out one invocation because these guys are so low. I worry that they might get a Fate of Buna on them, so I want to keep them at least healthy enough that Fate of Buna doesn't instantly kill them all. But Gorst and them are all moving up. There's a Fate of Buna onto Black Knights? It's not a bad target, but like there's these Hexwraith ROR, there's the Blood Knights. I don't know about that one. I'm gonna pop the Liber Mortis or whatever so I can get another Invocation Hack Off cooldown real fast. Gotta save my precious Blood Knights. Okay. Scourge Runners are about out of ammo. We are healing up. And Gorst is gonna walk over here, get into action with some Blackguard. Okay. He's pulling back. So let's just keep our Knights that still need healing next to Gorst. You guys can start cycle charging in. Gorst is going to go do some Mortis engineering. Black Knights take another shot. I'm going to throw a Grave Guard down. And these Blood Knights come help Gorst. There's another Fate of Buna. Onto my poor ghosts.
Knights to battle! Swiftly!
Gorst needs to go over there. Dogs are going to try and catch these Scourge Runners that left the formation. Blood Knights are getting completely dumpstered by Malice. Yeah, I think I needed a Dragon Lord. Because right now I just have like very little agency against Malice, which is a big problem.
Swiftly!
'Cause he's doing kind of whatever he wants to do out here.
Blood Knights!
Okay, Blood Knights fall back. Dogs are not attacking the chariot model that's among them. Dogs want to go attack the chariot models that are directly in the Blades of the Blood Queen, which is pretty cool. Okay, so these Blood Knights are trying to heal. These Blood Knights are doing their best out there. You guys are doing your best. Can't damage anything. There's another Grave Guard summon. It's about to get fucking executed by the Blades of the Blood Queen as Malice works his way over towards Kemler, or whatever the fuck your name is, Gorst.
Death to all! Swiftly!
Yeah. It's looking doomed. Dark Elves, very fun, very cool.
It shall be done! Blood Knights! With haste! For blood king! With haste! Darkness comes! Water! Swiftly!
Alright. So we have Knights trying to damage Scourge Runners in melee, and of course it's not working. Because why would it? I mean, they're in melee, it's not like they're in melee. Hear that? Murderous Prowess just popped, making these guys even tougher for me to deal with.
Haste! Elman Gorst!
Okay, Gorst is still Mortis engineering.
The night
I hear another Fate of Buna somewhere. Oh, he's hitting my full HP Knights. Okay. I don't know how she even got that Fate of Buna off while she was running away, but alright.
Swiftly! I will raise them!
Okay, if Malice is leaving, then I gotta get Gorst in here to do some good damage. You guys are faster than Malice, but he's catching you because Dark Elves.
Elman Gorst!
Okay.
Name and
I fucking hate Dark Elves, man. I fucking hate them. Now that one's a charge thing that happens with any character in the entire game, but still. Fuck Malice, man. Fuck him. Hate that asshole.
With haste!
Alright, we're still just trying to Mortis drain down Blackguard and all this stuff. Malice has a Holt's Arcane transformation,
Swiftly!
so I think we might be doomed.
Done!
Another Spirit Leech onto these guys, but they do catch her. And they do literally 0 damage on the charge, and they do literally 0 damage on the charge, and they do literally 0 damage on the charge. She's been at 879 for quite a while. That's also fine. That's also pretty cool and sweet. We do love when they do literally 0 damage on the charge. There they go, they finally caught her. This is over as Even a Mortis engine can't stop, like, just a really poopy melee box from
This'll be
beating
done.
it. And this is what you get if you meme, kids. You just gotta take the Meta Blood Dragon Lord and you gotta breath attack everything, otherwise you're gonna run straight into a bullshit-ass Dark Elf box with bullshit-ass Dark Elves, and you will have zero fun, because you tried. You tried to take a kind of fun Vampire Counts build. Hey, let's take some Cav. Hey, let's take some dogs. Chat wants Helmagor, so let's take Chat's thing. And never mind, it's a dumb bullshit Blackguard box that just stands there forever, and we're all having fun. Ugh, God, I hate fucking Dark Elves, man. I hate them. Is this ladder? No, it's a Cool Umbrellas tournament. Not everyone can so easily take the high road. That's pretty funny. No, I was just... If you were here for the early part of the stream, you would know that I am on an absolute tear about... Oh God, I hate it. I hate Dark Elves. I fucking hate them, man. If you've been watching the stream from the start, you'll know. I fucking hate Dark Elves. I hate them. I hate them. They are absolute dog shit. They're the worst faction ever. Just terrible. I fucking hate them. I hate playing with them. I hate watching them. I hate everything about Dark Elves. I'm over it. I'm over fucking Dark Elves. They're dumb bullshit. Just win, dude. I fucking hate Dark Elves. You have no idea. You have no idea. I hate them. They're so dumb. They're so dumb. They're so dumb. Do you hate anything that's more OP than Skaven? No. Not really. I hate things that aren't any fun for anybody. What's your opinion of Dark Elves? Yeah. If anybody thinks that I'm just mad at Dark Elves because I lost that game, allow me to introduce you to the literal start of the stream. It's going to be very difficult to play this game. And she's like, well, he's moving, so I can't swing at all. I'm like, fucking great. So I just had to let a Stegodon shoot me or follow it around the map and let everything else shoot me. So everything else shot me and I lost that game. Also, apparently, fucking Jade Lancers lose to Feral Cold Ones, which is great. It's just like, hey, I love losing to Dark Elves. Again, I fucking love playing Dark Elves all the goddamn time. I love Dark Elves. I love seeing Dark Elves every day. I love Dark Elves. I'm gonna put up the tent while I rant at you. And we wait for the players. I love Dark Elves. I love how Malekith is cheaper than Scarbrand, but he's way better, and a caster, and a combatant, and on a dragon. That's really fun. I love Dark Elves. I love having my Slanesh frontline lose to them, while also having my mobility lose to them, while also having my Lord lose to them. It just feels like they're better. I love Dark Elves. I love Dark Elves. I love Scourgerunner chariots that I catch with my Hellstriders in melee combat, and my Hellstriders take more damage than the Scourgerunners do. I love Dark Elves. Dark Elves are fun. I love when I catch the Dark Elves with Seekers. I have Seekers, armor-piercing 1,000 gold cavalry catching Scourgerunner chariots. And the Scourgerunner chariots leave the combat, and the Seekers have taken more damage than the Scourgerunners. I love Dark Elves. Oh, I love Dark Elves. I love them. They're so cool. They're so good. Everybody loves Dark Elves. That's how I feel about Dark Elves. God, I fucking hate them. You have no idea. On single player? Single player's dope. Single player's super fun. It's pretty good. Jade Lancers lose to Feral Cold Ones? Unfortunately, yes. I'm looking for a ping. It's VP versus Skaven. Okay. Yeah, this is a fine matchup for Skaven. It's an even matchup overall. It can be tough. Especially, I think Solastra is the best lord here. For the coast. She's real good. Her summons are great. The crab summons are really nice. They're armor piercing. They're mass. It's tough for anything to really stop them from going where they want to go. The Damn Knight's Errant summon can blitz through globes because it has 100% armor piercing because it's ethereal. Solastra is actually like really good here. Yo-Yo, Sarmy waiting for Thankful to arrive. Oh, Sarmation. I see. I was confused what you're talking about. Yeah. You want to see Pogers? There's... Mr. Casual, there's been a ton of Ogres. Ogres won the single faction tournament yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Yeah, where you been? You can't say you want to see some Ogres and then not show up to the streams where Ogres are all over the goddamn place. We saw a lot of Ogres yesterday. Sarmation? No. We have a bunch of maps now. There's a list of them. There's a whole list of them in my Discord under map pool. What round are we in? Second semifinal, and then we go to finals. So best of one, then best of three. You stream at 3 a.m.? Yesterday I streamed in the middle of the day. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I still owe you a tree army? Tell you what, McRightface. Tell you what. Next time I play Wood Elves, I'll bring an all tree army. I'll bring Treekin. I'll bring an Ancient Tree Man. I'll bring Dryads. And then we can all watch them lose to fucking Dark Elves. Scourger and Chariots are going to 3-shot Treekin with their armor-piercing anti-large missiles. Dark Shards are going to kill him with their armor-piercing missiles. Dread Spears are just going to hold the front line forever and poke the Treekin. Malekith is going to dive in and out with breath attacks and his Soul Stealer and all that stuff. And we get to watch more Dark Elves. Just more Dark Elves. Only Dark Elves. It's the only faction you get to see anymore is Dark Elves. I watched your 5-hour tournament, though I came the last 30 minutes. Okay. This tournament was in the middle of the day, Mr. Casual, the middle of your day. So I don't know where you were for this stream, but I gotcha. Big shot. Oh wait, back one. Cheap Cav. Crumble once more. Lead Belcher. The finals was Nurgle versus Ogre Kingdoms. Is now shooting at the Festering Stooges. Fight they and slaves can generally opponent. Honest. There's Nurgle versus Khorne. Ogres versus Wood Elves. Empire versus Nurgle. Remember to use Todd Bring. And Ogre Bulls. Ogres versus Empire. Actually, so there's plenty of ogres that stream, and that was not at 3 in the morning, sir. That one was 12 p.m. CST, so for Europe that's 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. So you're a liar. We have made ogre content, you just refuse to watch it. Oh wait, there we go. I was on the wrong tab. Tab without the blocker. Don't spoiler, then don't ask me why we never see ogres, and then when I show you us seeing ogres, you're gonna say spoiler. Then I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know what you want me to do. Two in the morning? It was not 2 in the morning! What the fuck are you talking about? The one on Wednesday was 2 in the morning your time, because it was North American evening time. But the one yesterday? Fuck no. That one was at 7 p.m. your time. It's 2 a.m. somewhere? That's a bad argument. All right. Boop, boop, boop. Boop. We in it. Skaven, this looks very similar to one of my builds. You'll love to see it. Versus the coast. Okay. What up? Bland Quiver, Dark Elves, Bosnian. Hi. I think it's Blanquiverde, but I see DE and I immediately assume Dark Elves. I'll be heading to the other side of the world in a week. I'll be watching these while eating cornflakes for breakfast. Fuck yeah, dude. Seems like a loss to VC. Oh, you're talking about VC Vampire Coast, not VC Vampire Counts. I see. Maybe. This is the Skaven build I usually bring. The only problem is the map is not a map you'd want to bring this on, because you can see the Giselles aren't going to be able to see shit all game. So that's really tough. But yeah, the build is fine on a flatter map. This build is probably going to get hard cucked. Anyway, for the builds, we do have 5 pistol mobs, 4 bomber mobs from the Vampire Coast, 2 handguns. Oh, it's 4. Okay, 4 and 4, and then 2 handguns. Then we have 2 deck gunners, 4 dogs, 1 animated Hulk, 1 depth guard, and Count Noctilus. It's a pretty solid VP build versus these guys. On the other side, we do have 2 night runners. We have 1 wolf rat. Does he have a mirror brother? Nope, just 1 wolf rat. 2 Giselles, one of which is the ROR, 2 globes, 3 rat ogres up there. Don't see any others, so it is just 3 rat ogres. Clan rats and Skaven slaves for the front and back line. Then we have Lord Skrulk with Vermintide and Pestilent Breath, and then we have an assassin with Rival High Talisman and Assassin's Trophy. But yee. The Giselles not having line of sight, it's kind of the same as the deck gunners not having line of sight, but the deck gunners are less important to the Vampire Coast win condition than they are to the Skaven's win condition for the Giselles, so both sides not having good line of sight hurts the Skaven more. For sure. Also, the Wolf Rats deploying in the Vanguard. This is something we've talked about before on the channel, but like, it is very tempting when you have Vanguard to use Vanguard. But like, what's the objective of Vanguarding? And it looks like to be fair to Shogunuk, it looks like he has an objective. I'm just talking generally. But he's like, okay, I'm going to put these wolf rats in the trees. They'll be hidden. And as soon as the game starts, I'm going to run them around. And I can flank these deck gunners and maybe get some nice kills on them. Okay. But also, if your opponent's thinking similar things, putting a bunch of units in the Vanguard, now your wolf rats are just really far away with no support. And they're going to lose to the dogs. So, yeah. What the Skaven player is going to have to do as soon as the game starts is realize that he needs to take the melee fight. Like, he has a bunch of clan rats and stuff, and sure, the enemy has bombers. I'm not saying it's going to be a walk in the park, but bombers and globes are going to have a shooting fight. The Giselles aren't going to be able to see, but neither do the deck gunners, so it's entirely on you getting into melee and killing those pistol mobs, killing the bomber mobs right away. Wolf rats, as soon as the game starts, start to run away. Scurvy dogs and Morngulls are after them. They might be able to get out of here, though. Who knows? Scurvy dogs have the same speed, but they might get their charge bonus and actually catch up to the dogs. Looks like so far they are just running parallel. Skaven's starting to move up a little bit. Coast's starting to move up. And it's very important that neither side let the other one hit the top of the hill. I guess the Coast does start on the higher ground, so never mind, they're fine with it. But the Skaven really don't want to get caught in the low ground. And then the zombies crest the rise and can start shooting down on them. So they want to get up as close as possible before the line of sight is achieved. Rat Ogres run out to fight Scurvy Dogs, but the dogs are just going to opt out of that and run away. And we have to make sure that the Rat Ogres can't go so far away from the formation that they leave it open to the other Scurvy Dogs. Wolf Rats are going to rally in the distance. So far, everything is fine. For the BBB rules, I don't know what the difference is there. Yeah, I don't know BBB rules that well. Isn't Skaven weak versus large? Not really. Like, depends. It depends on the units. That's a broad category. Weak versus large. Like, they're weak versus Chaos Spawn, but they're not weak versus cavalry. So I don't know. That's a big question. All right, deck gunners have crested the tops. Now they can start seeing Lord Skrulk, and they are going to keep shooting at him. Scurvy dogs are ducking and weaving their way into the Warplock Jezzails, and the Rat Ogres are too far away to opt into the fight to help. That is why I was a little worried about them being so far out of the formation. And Jezzails are going to get eaten. Now, the dogs might get peeled off, especially with the nice play here coming with the Wolf Rats. You just need some form of mobile element to be inside your lines. Deal with that. Bombers delete. Clan Rats of Shields. Poison Globes start to fire back, but it's not nearly the same effect. And the Bombers take out another Skaven slave. Noctilus now in a fight with an Assassin and a bunch of Clan Rats. He should be okay for that. I mean, he has a Liber Bubonicus on him and Skrull coming over. Maybe this could turn bad for Noctilus, but I think he'll be able to just walk out. Rat Ogre's chilling in the trees with their Night Runner friends. They're trying to deter this flank from the dogs, but, like, the Rat Ogres are needed elsewhere. The Night Runners are needed elsewhere. This is a lot of the Skaven money sitting in the forest, stopping 1,000 gold from coming at their formation. Meanwhile, Poison Globes, half your globes, are almost dead after the Bombers start dealing with them. Pistols are shooting them. And the Lord Snipe on Noctilus wasn't enough to fully finish it off. So I'm concerned. Jezzail's coming back. Starting to fire at stuff now. I don't know what they've been shooting at, but they're apparently shooting at something. Wolf Rats are going to dive straight onto these Bombers, doing really good damage to them, so that is nice stuff. The Rat Ogres did, again, deter the Scurvy Dogs from coming out, but I really want to see the Rat Ogres, at least like one or two of them, come up through the line, start pushing through and just mucking down all of these gunners, mobbing down all the Bombers, stopping them from shooting and stuff. He's having all of them over here, so it feels bad. We did get one. One came up. Dogs are now from Bjorn, just takes him around the rock. He's trying to get back into this forest. Depth Guard are going to cut through the Poison Globes, and that is pretty bad for the Skaven's crowd clearing potential. But the Jezzails are now firing at some gunnery mobs, which they'll win that over time. That's fine. Yeah, dogs get caught up here, nice. I was a little worried they get on the Nanny Bubos and shut them down. Assassin and Rat Ogres trying to push forward. There's a mass of bodies in here. Ooh, and the Morngulls are here. Yeah, Morngulls versus Rat Ogres. Morngulls will win it. With Assassin support, maybe. Rat Ogres can be fine. Night Runners are back. Skaven are holding okay. After a rough start, they've been doing all right now. Noctilus is back in it, but another Assassin's Trophy onto him. And Lord Skrull plus the Assassin are nothing to joke about. Two Rat Ogres in the trees need to come get involved in something. Night Runner is going to run forward and deal with this handgun mob, but they'll get attacked by animated hulks. It looks like a Rat Ogre is going to go help them, and another Rat Ogre is going to come back and help the fight. Noctilus takes more damage. He's going to run away to try and heal. Depth Guard are trying to chase down the Natty Bubo sharpshooters. Natty Bubos are swift little lads. They'll get away, and they'll probably even turn around and kill the Depth Guard from here. So I think these Depth Guard are actually not long for this world. Yeah, these other Jezzails start shooting at them too. Scurvy Dogs crumbling down. Skrulk and his assassin friend trying to chase Noctilus, but they are running straight into Morngulls. That could be a problem they'll need to watch out for. Skaven is slowly grinding down the Vampire Coast. Crumbling is a joke, but the Vampire Coast front line is not really that great. So even with pretty bad crumbling, it's just... Even Skaven slaves could beat pistol mobs in melee. Stormvermin are strong versus everything? No. Pistols and bombers count as the same unit? Okay, that's definitely different than fruit rolls, so I can see how he would make that problem. Another summon from Noctilus. Wow, that was a long-distance summon. Jesus Christ, how far away can you throw those things? Anyway, a long-distance summon will shut down the Warplock Jezzails for good. Depth Guard, still crumbling, but running around in the backfield, making sure Nanny Bubos don't get to do anything. Skrull getting hit in the face with a Wraith Storm. Vampire Coast is down the balance of power. It is mostly due to how low Noctilus is, because everything else is going pretty well for them. The only problem is their Lord getting low, and he can heal himself up. So you can see, as Noctilus heals, I want you to watch that balance of power, because I do think it's going to shift. Deck Gunners. One of them's missing, must have been shot to death. The other one is just fine. Another Clan Rat summon from Lord Skrulk, and I do have to think he's running low on those because I've seen a lot of them. Yeah, he has 0 Vermintide summons left, but this is going to be a huge one. It should shut down the Deck Gunners. Yeah, even that zombie summon's not going to stop him. So those Deck Gunners are dead. That's a big play from the Skaven. Depth guard back here, still trying to stop Natty Bubo sharpshooters, but actually the Skaven are... they might take it. It's close. It's very close for sure. But both sides are running out of gas. How many summons does Nocti have left? 1. Yeah, he has 1. This is a little blanket of power here that could be concerning for the Skaven if they're allowed to get free. Now these Giselles have a good amount of ammunition left. 21 models out of 32 is not bad if they can keep them safe. Zombies getting peeled off. Depth guard are dead in the background. They're no longer over there at all. And the deck gunner is getting murdered by a clan rat summon. I don't think there's any saving that unit. Yeah, especially with the wolf rats coming in. That's going to be a huge loss for the coast. So Noctilus is somehow going to have to get back with his animated hulks. He's going to have to heal himself up. That assassin and Skrulk are going to be a real issue that he can't deal with. He's just not good enough of a duelist. Like, he's a good duelist, but he's not good enough of a duelist to fight Skrulk and an assassin. Because Skrulk's about his equal in melee combat, and then you have an assassin with debuffs, with wolf rats, all that stuff. And I think Noctilus is about to get sniped out here, and I think that might be the end of Bjorn. Why would they gun the deck? What did the deck do to them? Everything! That is a Skaven victory. I'm surprised the Giselles got anything done at all considering the terrain, but they did. Skrulk and the Assassin doing well. Rat Ogres did fine. Globes didn't pay for themselves. They had a tough game. Night Runners did well, and then the Clan Rats, like I said, you just, like, Skaven player, Shogunate quickly realized he had to advance, and when he did, he just started killing a bunch of pistol mobs. I do think pistol mobs are a little overrated. Like, a lot of high-level players will take 5 of them in every build, but I don't know. I think they're a strong unit. I just don't think they're OP god tier. GG, well played. I'm just going to stay here because Shogunate won and he's the host, so yeah. Go to the scorecard. Last one's a best of 3, so we will need 2. Alright, last one's a best of 3, so we will need the scorecard tab. GG, well played. And then we'll go with Ama Shogunate versus GGX Raced. All right. Skaven OP, please nerf. Yeah, Skaven are strong. I won't deny that. I don't think Skaven are the strongest faction, but they are strong. Love me some Platy. That was good stuff. Platy's a good guy. He's a real good guy. I am stronger. Yeah, go Skrulk. The greatest legendary lord is on foot and is a Skaven and it isn't Clan Scryer or Mulder. Yeah. I'd say VC, Grand Cathay, still probably the strongest 2 factions. Dark Elves is probably 3rd at this point, and then I think Skaven or Vampire Coast is right there after that. And then there's like this big blob of good but not OP factions of like Warriors of Chaos. You can debate whether they're lower or higher. Tzeentch, you can debate whether they're lower or higher. Slaanesh, High Elves, Empire are all kind of in that tier of stuff that could go up or down. But I don't know. At the top levels, from all the games I've spectated, from all the games I've been playing and all that stuff, like, turning my bias off as best as any human being can, I would think that Dark Elves are currently the 2nd best faction. And not even just from my experience, but like from watching a whole bunch of games and casting all these tournaments and shit, it does feel like Dark Elves are just underneath. Like, Vampire Counts are the best faction. Grand Cathay is the 2nd best faction. Dark Elves are third. And then after that, I think everything's up for debate. I would say Skaven and VP are probably also in the OP category, so I think they need nerfs. Yeah. Globes need nerfs 100%, dude. Globes are nuts. Globes are mega stupid. Globes and Flensing Road. I don't think Grand Cathay is as good as people think. I would agree, Umbrella. They've been losing a lot recently for me, but I think at high levels of play, I would take that argument. Quick battles, or like lower levels of play, Cathay is super fucking oppressive. Like wildly oppressive. If Chariots get fixed, Cathay will be a lot less OP. But right now, Chariots suck, and it's just like, okay, well, how do I get through Jade Warriors? It's funny how Warriors of Chaos only got buffs and went down. No. No, Warriors of Chaos actually got hit with the last patch a little bit. Because all Marauder Horseman variants got a cost increase, and Hellstriders of Slaanesh got a cost increase. And the Warriors of Chaos, like, S tier build was 4 Hellstriders and 6 Marauder Cav. Well, your whole build just got, like, what was it? 50 times 10? That whole build got 500 more expensive. So you can't take... You have to cut 1 Marauder Horseman or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it's shit that adds up, you know? How did VC versus Dark Elves play out? I was making dinner. It was dumb. It was dumb. The Dark Elves had a Blackguard and Executioner box blob thing. They had Malice and a Dark Caster. I brought a bunch of Cav that had nothing to do. Oh, and they had 2 Scourge Runners. I brought a bunch of Cav that had nothing to do. And Helman Gorst was trying to Mortis drain down the box, but it wasn't nearly fast enough. And Malice was running around doing whatever he wanted. Scourge Runners were just shooting the shit out of my knights, and it was awful. It was an awful time. I won't lie to you and pretend that that was a fun game. It was dumb. Now, is Dark Elves versus VC ever fun? No. Like, that, it's not unusual that that matchup's not fun. I'm just saying it wasn't fun. But dude, I fucking hate Dark Elves. I hate them. I hate them from the bottom of my soul. See, I'm a simple man. I see Kislev, I play Kislev. KJC, what's going on, man? Not much. Not much. Casting the finals right now. Best of 3. Blind picks. He lost and got salty. Yeah, I did. That is factual. I will not hide from that. I did get salty because, like... But was it fun? No. There are fun losses. Like, it's not... Okay, spoilers for Mr. Casual. Losing isn't bad. Like, everybody prefers to win over lose. For sure, for sure. But I played Nurgle versus Empire. I was Empire versus Cal Harmon yesterday, and I lost. That was a fun game. That was a good game. Like, I had fun, even though I lost. There are times where you have fun losing. There are times where you have fun winning. There are times where you have no fun and you win. There are times when you have no fun and you lose. Like, there's certain builds, certain play styles that just aren't, like, fun. And I've definitely had to use some of those. Some of my Skaven builds aren't fun. For sure. So it's not even just like wow, Raced sucks. Raced is a bad guy. It's like, no, that build wasn't fun, but it doesn't make Raced a bad guy. I would argue that my Skaven build versus Sabrus Regdom's Dwarves wasn't fun. It was necessary, but it wasn't fun. 4 Globes, 4 Giselles. It's pretty snooze fest. Yeah. Did the Scourge Runner take damage? You know they fucking didn't. You know they didn't, dude. If you watch the replay, there was actually a pretty funny point where there's one Scourge Runner chariot completely out in the middle of nowhere, and I order my dogs to attack it, and they all dive straight back into the Hargoneth Executioners because the other 3 Scourge Runner chariot models were in the Executioners, and all the dogs were like, I want that one, and sprinted to their fucking death. God, I hate Scourge Runners. Why is Kislev the most hated? They used to be the most hated because their passive could be really, really divisive. Where they go unbreakable for a little bit. They go unbreakable for a little bit, and that can be annoying for a lot of people. Like, I don't want to minimize it. That sounded very, like, oh, some plebeians don't like Kislev. It's just, that's the short answer, is their passive can be pretty unfun. I think Kislev as a faction can be fun, but they can also be played really degenerately, and that leaves a bad taste in people's mouth. Kind of like Dwarves, kind of like Dark Elves. Like, Dark Elves can be fun. They can, for sure. For sure, but there's other times you just get so fucking mad. Well, I do. That's going to be my opinion on it. War Sleds was busted was a big issue? Yeah. Dude, War Sleds, back when they were super good, that was not a good time. That was not a good time to fight Kislev, man. Alright, so all 3 blind picks have been made. So we have High Elves versus Tomb Kings, Dark Elves versus Kislev, and Warriors of Chaos versus Skaven. Game 1, High Elves versus Tomb Kings, it's pretty even. Might slightly favor might slightly favor High Elves, but like whatever. Either faction can win this one for sure. Dark Elves versus Kislev, I think Dark Elves have a significant advantage there. And that one, again, is not, like, I know I'm biased. I'm extremely biased, right? It is very apparent to everyone that I'm mad at Dark Elves right now. But, objectively, Dark Elves are extremely good against Kislev. I was talking to Blood Penguin, and he played in Turin's last faction war as Empire. Actually, I think his Dark Elf matchup against Thunderwolf was in my faction war, but it doesn't matter. In a faction war, Blood Penguin, elite top-tier player, plays a shit ton of Kislev, was playing against Dark Elves. I was helping him train, so I was picking Dark Elves into him. And he was talking to me about, like, how hard that matchup is. And it felt really hard for him, because I was playing the Dark Elf side, and it just felt really easy. Now, the trick is, right, you can't land Malekith. Like, you can't do it, because he's going to get surrounded by bears, he's going to get beat up. You can't land him. But what you can do is either take Cold One Malekith, or you could take Malice. Even Malice isn't a great choice there, so it's like, you have to play a Dark Elf slightly differently, where you don't just take your Lord as a beat stick and run around the army and do whatever you want. You have to be much more careful, because you can't land in bears. The bears will kill you. But the breath attacks from Malekith are still really nice. Soul Stealer's still really good. Right? All that stuff. So Malekith on a dragon could still be fine. I think I prefer him on a Velociraptor and go wider. And then Dark Shards are arm-piercing missiles. Shades are arm-piercing missiles, so it's really good. Scourge Runners are incredible in that matchup. And then Black Arquebusiers and Bleak Swords can still get through an armored cross our front line. So it's tough for Kislev. I think if Shogunnik, the Tomb Kings, doesn't take this game, it's going to be a 2-0 for Raced. Because Dark Elves Kislev just feels really unwinnable. I'm going to say that, and then we're going to get to game 2. He's going to fucking win. But you know what? I won't hide my opinions just in case I am wrong. The hybrid infantry makes them very angry. Makes me aggressively angry. Actually like Kislev right now. I also enjoy playing Kislev right now. Alright. What do we have? What do we have? Okay. For the High Elves of Raced, he's still setting up. I'm not going to cast that yet. Well, we do have one flanking Lyran Reaver, one next to the formation, two next to the formation. We have one Swordmaster of Hoeth, one Phoenix Guard, a Silverin Guard, triple Lothern Sea Guard, Archer with light armor, 5 total Lothern Sea Guard, sorry. 1 Archer with light armor, the Sisters of Avalor, and some Spearmen in the front line. We have an Archmage of Death with Fate of Bihuna and Spirit Leech. That's roughly the build. Shit keeps moving around, which is usually why I stall for a bit and try not to cast too quickly. On the other side, we have 1 Carrion in the Vanguard. We have High Queen Khalida with only Tomb Strike. Oh, and My Will Be Done. But she is up on her Snick-a-Snick. We have Skeleton Horse Archers, Sparkle Stalkers, ROR. Looks like we have 2 Shop to Great Bows, another basic Sparkle Stalker, some Neckar Horsemen, 1 Screaming Skull Catapult, and a front line of Skeleton Warriors and Spearmen. Oh, we have a Lightcaster with Net and Ship's Burning Gaze. Who's weaker to Dark Elves, Ogres, or Kislev? Probably Kislev. Probably Kislev. Like, as much as I give shit about the Ogres matchup, they have a couple tools they can use. Hi, Queen Karen. Yeah, Kalida's like... She's a meme, but she's a meme for a reason. Every time I see her, her impressive melee stats of 65-60 just don't do her any justice. Her low health pool really makes her suffer. And I notice she can have problems actually connecting her attacks, even with like high stats. Because she's not linked with any anti-large or anti-infantry or anything like that. So 65 is what you get. Does Tomb ever win something? I don't know, Satisfy the Grudge. Because like a lot of really good players like the Tomb Kings. They do. They play a lot of them. But I've honestly been pretty negative on Tomb Kings for a little bit. Since the last patch where their army passive got nerfed a lot. I don't know. It feels like they don't really have the sauce anymore. I don't think they're a bad faction. I just don't think they're OP. Nekar Horsemen have been underperforming the last like 4 or 5 times I've seen them. They've just been utter dog shit. So without medium cav that do very well, their light cav does well. The skeleton horsemen and skeleton horse archers do great, but Nekar Horsemen lacking a meaningful medium cav or heavy cav, Tomb Kings can kind of suffer in the mobility department. And then if the mobility game is lost, your enemy will just run around you and compromise your Shop Great Bows, compromise your Screaming Skulls catapults and all that stuff. Then your front line's not going to win any grind fests either. So I don't know. Yeah, I think Tomb Kings are B tier at the moment. Bring back 100% AP Doomguard. Alright, Illyrian River flank is looking like it's paying off. They are already upon the Screaming Skull catapults. And that is probably going to be an entire Screaming Skull catapult deleted before the Tomb Kings can really respond, because even if you order your Nekar Horseman in now, it's not like they're going to save the Screaming Skull catapult before it dies. So that was a good start from our friends, the High Elves. Now, one thing I'm quite concerned about is normally you would have Ark in the Black here with Spirit Leech and Fate of Buna. Without him, I have no idea what is going to kill the Phoenix Guard or the Swordmasters. The Swordmasters and Phoenix Guard are going to go absolutely ape shit on this this Tomb Kings roster, and I think it's going to be gross. Their animation gives them like 5 seconds in one or something. Are Scorpios still buggy? No. Well, they are buggy, but they're not OP. They, in my opinion, Scorpions suck. I think Scorpions are terrible. They're expensive, and they just don't kill a lot of things. Heck, passive healing? Yeah. Then heck, passive healing's still good. I just meant the Tomb Kings have taken some nerfs that took them from being OP, and into my opinion, they're now, like, fine. They're not OP. They're not underpowered. They're just fine. I don't know. Not everything has to be OP or needing buffs. I think Tomb Kings are okay where they're at. I mean, like, some units could use attentions like the Hierotitan or like Kalita and stuff, but the faction in general doesn't need buffs or nerfs. It's just certain units on it need buffs or nerfs to stay viable. Love and Seaguard in range of the Ushapti Grapos now, just going to poke in onto them. Sparkle Stalkers roaming around looking for an Archmage of Death to shoot. Kalita is going to roll into some Spearmen, but with Charge Reflection and Charge Defense, I really don't think they're going to take much damage from her, and they honestly might deal more damage to her than they take. Nekar Horsemen find Illyrian Reavers in the trees, but Illyrian Reavers are 100 gold cheaper, and Illyrian Reavers are probably actually going to kick the Nekar Horsemen's ass, depending on who got the charge. I don't know, because these Illyrian Reavers have been in this Vanguard position forever. Meanwhile, quick net onto the Archmage of Death, with Sepulchral Stalkers, and a new Ushapti Great Bow, and a Shem's Burning Gaze. That Archmage is actually getting completely roasted, and the High Elves are going to have to play the rest of this game without a Lord, because she is gone. Fate of Buna onto the Eyes of the Desert is not going to do that much damage. It does a lot more damage for the more models you have, and only having 16 total models, they really don't take that much damage at all. So, a panic cast from the Archmage of Death who was dying, and a really good snipe from the Tomb Kings will bring them back into this game. It was looking a little brutal for them. Now, damage values are very, very, very similar, and High Elves are not out of this just yet. I did say Swordmasters of Hoeth are going to have a pretty good time versus whatever they want to fight. Though actually the Sparkle Stalker shooting them has been pretty difficult. Anyway, and also High Elves are a high leadership faction, so losing their Lord doesn't mean they instantly lose the game. I mean, it sucks. You never want to lose your Lord, but this is one of the factions that can kind of eke it out even without a Lord. Ushaptis are feeling the burn, but they are still alive, and they are now firing all the way across the way at the Swordmasters of Hoeth. Sparkle Stalkers look like they're trying to help out with that cav fight in the distance, and Swordmasters are still chasing down the Sippy Stalks. But our boys have taken a lot of ranged pressure. Meanwhile, Phoenix Guard, Andalarian Reavers, and Sisters of Avalorn all trying to deal with High Queen Khalida. Some Skeleton Horse Archers are even going to sacrifice themselves into the fray. I think the Illyrian Reavers should peel off and take care of these guys before they hit the Sisters of Avalorn. Does not look like that's going to be the case, though, as the Sisters do take a nasty side charge. Realm of Souls Tier 1 is active. Okay, it's the bugged one. Yeah, so that one's not, it's not actually healing anybody. I think somewhere the Ushapti summon must have gone down. And then it restarted the thing. I don't know. Because normally that's the only reason it restarts the bar. Shem's Burning Gaze into something. Looks like two clumped up Lather and Seaguard. Good for them. Swordmaster's still fighting. More Lather and Seaguard moving up. Here you go. Okay. Lion Reavers chasing down Khalida. She's taking a good amount of damage, but where are those Sisters of Avalorn? Where'd they end up? I don't know. What are you aiming at, my friends? Oh, wow, they're shooting at the Lich Priest. Really want him dead. I'd kind of assume they would want to go for the weapons teams, but I guess they can't see that one. That one's stocked. I called them weapons teams, sorry. Skaven bias. Yeah, Car Horsemen plowing straight to Lather and Seaguard. Now these are hybrid infantry. They have charge defense versus large and charge reflection, so they're going to be just fine versus Nekar warriors, and the Swordmasters even finish off the nearby Skellies. Lion Reavers terror out, but they will come back, and Toledo's going to try and rear charge them. We'll see if their leadership can hold. Silver and Guard running after these guys. They have to be pulled back into the formation. They're not going to catch those horsemen, obviously, so they might as well just beat back with their archers and try and protect them. Sister of Avalorn taking a lot of damage. And the sniping attempt on the Lich Priest of Light was not successful, leaving us a lot of construct teams still healthy, still alive. Yeah, there's no healing coming in. Oh wait, now there's healing. Was that seriously? That was actually the Realm of Souls Tier 3. Okay, so there's the Ushapti summon. It's going to land right on the Sisters of Avalorn. The Tomb King's looking ascendant at this point, though their front line is extremely, extremely deteriorated. And once that Ushapti summon wears off, the backline pressure will also be gone. Swordmasters of Hoeth trying to hang in there. It looks like a net is coming in for them. The Sparkle Stalkers are already crumbling, and as low as they are on HP, I think they're probably going to keep crumbling right up to the end. Ushapti still fighting the Sister of Avalorn as Phoenix Guard run up and try to get involved a little bit. Skeleton Horse Archers are going to crumble away next to Khalida in the trees as she comes back out. It's a bit of a slobber knocker around here, as we have a lot of Lather and Seaguard left. A lot of archers available to shoot at the Tomb Kings as the game goes on. Ushapti Greatbow's doing a great job right now versus the Sisters of Avalorn. They're trying to get away, but they're so low that really it doesn't matter. And it's not like they're going to get that much DPS out with only 26 models. Lather and Seaguard trying to poke that Lich Priest of Light. He is up on a horse, making him slightly easier to hit than a foot variant would be. One of Sparkle Stalkers is gone, leaving just the Eyes of the Desert and the two Ushapti Greatbows. Ushapti Summon has 20 seconds left of life. A horseman about to fade on the far side, so we are getting down there. Tomb Kings are at about 1/3 their model count. High Elves, roughly half. Roughly. These healthy spearmen will be wanted back. Looks like the Lather and Seaguard. No, wait, these are archers. Archers with light armor trying to make that Lich Priest suffer, at least, if he's going to chase them around. Nekar Horseman getting a rear charge, and the archers with light armor. Light armor is very light by definition. 40 armor is not going to help them at all. This Nekar Horseman doing good damage. Skelly's hanging in there in the front line, and ooh, the Eyes of the Desert have taken an absolute shellacking since we last looked at them. That looks like that will be the end of them. Balance of power is dead even. Damage value slightly ahead for the Tomb Kings. And the Spearmen are going to get pushed off by Lich Priest of Light. That is a pretty big loss for the High Elves. I mean, it's a basic Spearman unit, but it's like half health. So it could be useful in the late game here. Phoenix Guard still fighting. Phoenix Guard taking a lot of damage from these Ushapti Greatbows who have just been firing off into elite infantry most of the game. God damn. Skellies are crumbling. Nekar Horsemen not crumbling just yet. Lich Priest is also fine. And Khalida's off in the distance, trying to catch these Illyrian Reavers who do rally yet again. Lather and Seaguard pushing up. Sparkle Stalkers are all dead, so they want to go shoot at these Ushabti Great Bows now. These Ushabti are out of ammo, so it doesn't really matter, and those guys are down to 4. The Phoenix Guard have not been having a good time. They got messed up by the range pressure. Archer's light armor barely hanging on to life. And then Akar Horsemen are going to push them off. Lothern Sea Guard pushed off by the Skeleton Spearmen. It's getting real spooky for our friends, the High Elves. 3 shots left on that Ushabti Great Bow. Khalida routes off the Illyrian Reavers. Lothern Sea Guard trying to go shoot at Carrion, trying to protect the Sisters of Avalorn who have come back. The Sisters of Avalorn themselves are trying to shoot this little lurkin' bitch. He's going to dodge their paltry arrows. And Carrion will rout them off. Huzzah, hooray, huzzah. Ushabti Great Bows with no ammo charge into Lothern Sea Guard and die. The other ones have 1 volley left. Carrion are running right back into Lothern Sea Guard. Still Spearmen continue to fight, as do Skeleton Warriors. Khalida's going to be a bit of a problem for the High Elves. And are those Nehekara Horsemen crumbling? No, they are just fine. The Priest of Light will shatter the Sister of Avalorn. The Archers of the Light Armor also shattered. It's coming down to the wire. Netted and sniped, yeah. What happened to the High Elf Lord? She got netted in front of a bunch of Sparkle Stalkers. Yeah. Khalid needs to get in before her support dies. That is true, though there are Phoenix Guard here to really keep her at bay. Spearmen, Silverin Guard still fighting. And that Ushabti Great Bow is officially out of ammo, so now it's fighting Spearmen. And the Nekar Horsemen are gone. Tomb Kings, very low on models now, just 100. That includes 67 from that Skeleton Spearman. Another Shem's Burning Gaze, dealing some damage to the Phoenix Guard. Meanwhile, Lothern Sea Guard fighting to the last against Carrion. And the High Elves need to rally. They need to stop spreading out so much. Lothern Sea Guard rallying in the distance with a bunch of ammunition. Everybody needs to come back together. They need to come back together. I don't know where this guy's going, but he shouldn't be going there. Do not go over here alone and get isolated from all of your other units. Please, God, get back to your other units. Or send the other units over here. Just please get them back together. Oh, God. For fuck's sake. Alright. This pocket's going to get isolated by Khalida. And another Shem's Burning Gaze is going to continue poking at the Phoenix Guard. And if he didn't say it, I will. We'll see. You need banishment or something instead of Shems. Shems, it was mostly for the Lord Snipe, and we saw that did work out very well. It's just not the whole game. Khalida does terror route and then naturally route off the Lothern Sea Guard, who have a bunch of ammo. Other Lothern Sea Guard are trying to follow her, but they're leaving behind all their spears. Why? Why are you leaving behind more than half your army? Please, God, just put them together. Just put them together. Please, stop fighting her 1v1. You don't need to. You outnumber her 6-1. Please, God, get all your stuff together. Oh my God. I'm so upset. I'm so upset right now. Well, the Priest of Light is trying to dodge around. He throws out another Shem's Burning Gaze onto the Phoenix Guard, and the Lothern Sea Guard looks like he got a little bit of a 2-for-1 hit there. And he is dodging. Lothern Sea Guard are fighting, and these are just Lothern Sea Guard fighting Khalida. We have Silverin Guard and Phoenix Guard over here. I think the High Elves have got this for sure. To regenerate Vigor? But, like, you're sacrificing a full-ish health spear unit and a Lothern Sea Guard that had a ton of ammunition to get Vigor, if that is true. I don't know. I think they should have regrouped. Yeah, Khalida is still getting worked down by these Lothern Sea Guard. And now with archers firing in from that distance, they do more friendly fire than real damage. I would like to see that ammo conserved, because there's only 4 volleys left. I would save that ammo until you're closer, because you can see, watch the volley come in. It did like 400 damage to Lothern Sea Guard. Now there was a rear charge coming in at the same time, but it definitely does do a lot of damage. I still think the Hives are going to win from this point, but I am seeing some stuff that if Raced ends up watching this replay back, I hope he will take that in the future. Carrion, Lich Priest, Khalida, everything's just too low. Like, this full-ish unit of Silverin Guard, 108 out of 120 models, about 3/4 HP. There is nothing on this planet that can stop them. The Phoenix Guard are very like, cool, sexy thing to talk about, but honestly, these Silver Guard are the most dangerous thing left. Extremely elite high elf spears, full HP. There's no way there's a bunch of Shems Burning Gaze left or anything. It's just, yeah. Spearmen hold the line. Lawland Seaguard using the last couple shots, still trying to snipe out that Lich Priest. They really hate him. Another Shems onto the Silvering Guard and a bit of poke on the Lawland Seaguard. Silvering Guard walk forward. It is going to be GG. And the Phoenix Guard have spent like the last half of the game doing nothing. They're just existing. They're existing to be Shem's dead. That's it. Carrion fading away, and once they are gone, Kalita will be all alone. Archers, no ammo, no ammo. Quick little Shem's Burning Gaze. Phoenix Guard is just chilling. Lich Priest charges in, gets butchered by the Silvering Guard. And without him, I think we might go into army losses territory, because losing a mage is a lot on your balance of power. GG. Now let's see if Shogunuk can win one of the Dark Elves' best matchups. It might be a tough one. Might be a toughie. Okay. That was game one. Oh, I didn't do values yet. Sparkle Stalkers, mixed value. Shop to Great Bows did fine. The rest of the Tomb Kings build did okay. I know there's a blocker up. Swordmasters and Phoenix Guard did very little. So did the Sisters of Avalon and the Silvering Guard. Lather and Seaguard all paid for themselves. One of them got 2,300 value. And then other Spearmen did okay. So really the only impressive thing was one Lather and Seaguard getting 2,300 value. Okay. Raced takes the point. And Dark Elves are back. And will Dark Elves win another fucking game? Karen fought well. She did try. Orcs are British. That's true. They are. Yeah, John FB, not this matchup. I was just ranting about how it's really tough for Kislev to win. Watch as you come in here and you're like, it's impossible for Dark Elves. How dare you? I'll be right back as they build their builds. Alright, I'm back. I have no idea how Kislev wins here. It does seem to be tough. Why no Necrotect with the Restore? Because it's very expensive. Like, very, very expensive. And Restore doesn't heal enough to really matter because most of the constructs were ranged. And Restore doesn't restore models, so it's like the ranged constructs, if they lose HP, it doesn't matter as long as their models are still alive. And if their models are dead, then healing them won't bring the models back, right? Because the Ushabti Great Bow, it doesn't matter if they're full health or half health. If they have full models, they're going to deal full damage. They're going to use all their ammo. If you had melee constructs, then Restore is much more important. I believe this is the part Malice / Malekith carries in GG Easy Kislev. Maybe Ground would be good. Dark Elf front lines walk all over Kislev. You're just trying to get you boy to rant. Fuck you. Fucking cool umbrella. Why don't we see the Necro Kitties anymore? I don't think... I personally never thought they were that good. And now in Ultra Unit size, they're extra not good. Yeah, they don't deal a lot of damage either, which is no good. Hey, Wicked. All ESM's got nerfed and moved to Ultra plus health, same weapon strength. Yeah. Alright, we're getting started. And I am concerned for the Dark Elves. Because Rice didn't bring any Scourge-Run Chariots. If you don't bring Scourge-Run Chariots, then you don't want to win. It's an honorable build, though. Alright. So the Dark Elves didn't bring any Scourge-Run Chariots, which is honorable. But if you want to win, you want Scourge-Run Chariots. I see Chariot Squad's got quad screwed thanks to collision attacks effectively multiplying weapon strengths. Yeah. Sad dragon noises. Okay, the Ice Guard might be scary. I don't think the Ice Guard would be scary. Every time I've used this unit, they feel like utter dog shit. So we'll have to see how that goes. That backdrop is sexy? Yeah. This map has a really cool area surrounding it. Def not walking over that bridge. Is this even a bridge? Yeah, it's not even a bridge, it's just a wall. The bridge doesn't go anywhere. It leads to a wall. Anyway. For the Dark Elves, we do have Shades, Dark Shards, Shades and Dark Shards, so 2 of each. We have 1 Reaper Bolt Thrower to kind of poke and harass Kislev around. We have a front line of Bleak Swords with 1 in the rear, 2 Cold One Knights, and 1 Cold One Dread Knight. We also have a Sorceress of Shadows with Pit of Shades and Enfeebling Foe, and Marius Starkblade. So this is a fine Dark Elf build. I think there's more competitive ones, but, you know, I'm down for seeing some fun shit. Let's go. On the other side for Kislev, we have 4 Kossovite Dervishes, some off in the trees. We do have 3 Streltsy, 2 Ice Guard with swords, 2 Kossars with spears, and then 5 armored Kossars in the front line with an Ice Witch of Tempest with Blizzard and Hailstorm for her spells. I think no Chariots, all in rush is good here too, but he hasn't gone for that either. It's a crossbow attacked to be like a pre-buff War Dancer or an Empire Halberd. Yeah. So bolt throwers just trying to get some value on something. I think they were here in case of the bear blob, but there is no bear blob, so now they don't have great targets. Yeah. Okay, sorry. It's busy. With a quick message making sure it wasn't about this game. Build variety, my total war game. What is this? It's shocking. Alarming. Now, the Dark Elves can't afford to just sit here because Kislev has, like, entirely hybrid units. So if they sit like this, it's going to be 4 in 2 Dark Shards, 2 Shades versus 12. And that's not working out. Malice is taking a lot of damage. Bleak Swords are taking a lot of damage. Cold One Dread Knights are trying to get a fight with Quest 5 Dervishes. They're just going to run away. Malice is almost dead. This is not good. This is not good. Big Pit of Shades cast onto the Streltsy, and Malice, forgotten and alone, dies. Okay, alright. Now the Overcast Pit of Shades did kill an entire Streltsy unit, but Malice shatters. He can't turn into Zarkan. That was a little wild. I think this is going to be an Overcast Blizzard that's going to hit some Shades and some Dark Shards. That was odd. I think this might be doomed. Might be doomed. 3,500 to 1,000 damage value. And the Dark Elves lost their Lord. Now, in a counter, the Ice Witch on her bear chases the Shadows Caster into Cold One Knights. And now with Enfeebling Foe, she only has 11 melee defense. She's currently getting bodied. She tries to summon a Leopard to help her, but then the Cold One Dread Knights are going to come in for a complete sandwich. And yeah, that lady's dead as fuck. She even throws down a Hailstorm just to try and get something out. But both Lords are just going to die? That was silly. How did Malice get shattered? I missed it. He stopped in front of the entire Kislev force, and like a million Streltsies and Pistols just shot him to death. There was a whoops there. I got a ping from Turin. What's that about? Okay, I can check it later. Cool. Ice Witch still technically alive. Now she is dead. The Leopard Summon will go away eventually, but the Cold One Knights did take a lot of damage in that Lord Snipe, so I mean, still worth it, but it's not nothing. Cold Knights on the far side hitting Costify Dervishes up, but they can easily beat that light cavalry. And in the meantime, Reaper Bolt Throw is getting shot at by something, but they still have 4 out of 4 models. They're technically, for now, doing just fine. Costify Dervishes catch the Shades. The Shades should be able to defend themselves in melee combat there. It is a pretty insignificant cav piece. Snow Leopard plus Ice Guard support has done a shit ton of damage to these Cold One Dread Knights that were fighting the Snow Leopard for a while. They are now trying to get onto that backline and stop it, plus Pit of Shades that's undercast is trying to save them. But man, the Frostbite on those arrows is really slowing down the Cold One Dread Knights. And the Snow Leopard summon is just going to straight up rout the caster. As it fades away, she will come back. The Cold One Dread Knights are now starting a fight with Ice Guard. I don't know if they can win, honestly. I think Kislev is probably going to clutch it out. I think they just have too much left. Oh, there's some full health Dark Shards back here. Maybe. Maybe. I think Kislev is favored, but not winning. Interesting unit testing video. 3 Streltsy do best in unshielded Horse Lord. I mean, yeah. Cold One Knights do finish off the Cossars with Spears. They might hop over here and try to deal with the Streltsy, but we will see. Bleak Swords in the distance catch up to more Cossars with Spears. Cold One Dread Knights fighting to the end against the Ice Guard with Swords, but they are getting shot by more Ice Guard while they do so. So in the end, they will probably actually lose that one. Bleak Swords, Dark Shards, and Shades trying to all rally in the distance, and they are. Big Pit of Shades, is it Overcast or is it Undercast? It's kind of a big determining factor of whether or not that's going to be great. That's Undercast. So they might survive it. If it was Overcast, that whole unit would be dead for sure. Armored Kossar is going to drag down the Cold One Knights. They aren't very good at killing mass amounts of things in the best of times. So they won't start now. Dark Elves again in the lead. I would honestly tend to agree now. With that Pit of Shades and all this stuff, I mean, you have some healthy-ass Dark Shards that can fight back. Cold One Knights are doing better than I would have thought against a lot of things. Rear charging the Ice Guard with swords. The other Ice Guard also already used their Kislev passive, so that's both of them running out of Unbreakable. Once they approach the Dark Shards, they'll probably get gunned down. Both these matches seem so spread out. True. Dark Horse, that's okay, buddy. You're right, it is a lot. It is a lot of blue banners. It was one Lord throw into a follow-up Lord throw where the Ice Witch just followed the Sorceress of Shadows trying to get her into melee and ran straight into Cold One Knights and Cold One Dread Knights and fucking died. It was brutal. Bleak Swords killed some armored some Kossar Spears in the distance, but now they are getting shot at by Streltsy, and that is a battle of 2 units that are so close to dead it won't matter. Kislev is reforming ranks in the center field. Meanwhile, the Dark Elves are reforming ranks on this kind of low ground forest area. That's what they're doing. Cool, cool. Looks like I woke up early enough to catch the end, though. Yeah, and what an end it is. It's a wild fucking game. Kislev has 2 armored Kossars with no ammo, almost dead Ice Guard, almost dead Streltsies, and 1 almost dead Kossars Spears versus a full-ish health Dark Shard, almost dead Shades and Dark Shards, almost dead Reaper Bolt Thrower, and an almost dead Caster. Oh yeah, and some almost dead Cold One variants of Cavalry that will not survive even these basic, very close to dead Ice Guard. Thank you for the tourney streams. I try, dude. We try to bring you the good content. We just can't guarantee it'll all be good. Ice Guard do manage to write off those Cold Ones. These other Cold Ones just lurking, waiting for them to be distracted. It looks like now might be the time to start to come out of the woods. Do the Ice Guard see them coming, and do they turn and fire, or do they get rear charged? In which case they will definitely break, and they will definitely die. Oh, they see him coming. Oh, they're shooting him in the face. Yep, shattered. Ice Guard defended themselves. Armored Kossars plowing through the shattered remnants of Bleak Swords. But I don't know if that'll be enough. I don't know if that'll be enough to really grind out the rest of this game. Ice Guard coming over. Streltsy coming over. I don't think Kislev has enough left in the tank. Just unsummon. That's not how this works. You're silly. Armored Kossar is getting down to only 6 leadership when they're under fire. They're definitely not going to be able to hold this one together. And the full health Armored Kossar unit, that's an overcasted Pit of Shades for you. It might, well, wait, that might be undercasted. I don't know. I think it's overcast, but it does just take them down. Armored Kossars fighting because of the Fire Blood Unbreakable passive, but you can see Kislev has like nothing left on the map, and the Dark Elves are going to win this whole thing without Malice Darkblade at all.
At all. He did not do a single thing. I think he had legitimately 0 value. They didn't need him. That's how bad this matchup is for Kislev. Is it the worst matchup in the game? No. Is it bad? Yes.
Alright. Full health Dark Shard still retreating. Why are you still retreating? Where are you going? What are you running from? Everything's dead. Everything's dead. Dark Shards are back. They fire at some poor, helpless Kossars who are just trying to go home to their families and friends. Anyways, good night, Lord. Good night, y'all. Bye, Larry. Bye. It is a Dark Shard versus the world. But the world is a big place. I feel like Shog threw his heart. Both of them decided to eat their lords. That is true. Model count actually favors Kislev. The model count is at everything, but just saying. Dark Shards take a volley. Other Dark Shards are coming out of the trees, but these Dark Shards are taking a lot more damage than I would have thought, to be honest. Ice Guard trying to find something to do. Ice Guard trying to fire a quick Pit of Shades onto the Streltsy. Those are some dead as fuck Streltsy. Ice Guard are not shooting, instead they're going into melee with the Dark Shards. They're just sprinting at him, they're just taking him to task. Fucking get him, bro! Armored Kossars charging the Dark Shards who are getting shot in the side by the Kossars with spears. There's no fucking way Kislev could do this, right? Shadows Caster just goes into melee with the Ice Guard. Meanwhile, the Dark Shards shatter. The Armored Kossars do catch the Dark Shards, and now the Dark Shards are having to run from the archers, taking damage in the back as they go, and only 30 armor with their shields facing the wrong way. They will take a lot of damage. And can that Pit of Shades Caster actually finish this? Wait a second. Dark Shards decide to just turn and fire. They get a couple shots off of the Armored Kossars, but the Armored Kossars are gonna fucking finish him off. As the Archer support rains in, can the Armored Kossars hold? Can the Spear Kossars hold? The Spear Kossars are turning. They're turning towards the Shadows Caster who's running at him, but she's just gonna get gunned down. She is 100% gonna get fucking gunned down. She's trying to juke. She's trying to dodge. She's trying to duck and weave. But where are you going? Where are you going? Why aren't you shooting? Where are you going? Why are you trying to run? Oh, they're not gonna shoot. Oh, that was a big fuck up. That was a big, big fuck up. But now they're in melee. They are still spear units. She still only has 40 armor. The Armored Kossars do rout off the Dark Shards. Balance power shifts in the favor of Kislev, and I have to agree as the Shadows Caster is totally 100% about to rout. Oh my fucking god, Kislev did it! Oh god, that was nuts. Mistakes were made. Tempest Caster, 1600 value, 1600 on Ice Guard, 700 on other Ice Guards. Streltsy, mixed value, but overall fine. Armored Kossars did incredibly well. Kossars with Spears did fine. Kossovite Dervishes got shreked. Malice Darkblade, 0 value. Coldo Knights all did nicely. Shades did fine. Shadows Caster did well. Bolt Thrower did fine. Dark Shards did fine. Blaze Swords did okay. Any battle lost by Dark Elves is a good battle. I don't know what is happening because Dark Elves are losing now. Like, we watched Bowmore lose with the Dark Elves, and then we saw Race lose with them, but it's like, it's weird builds and wild mistakes. Like when
Malice stayed in a fight with Aranessa's Salt's Pipe when all of his abilities were on cooldown, so he couldn't use any abilities, and then he sat in the depth guard and he just like didn't go kill the pistols. So the pistols could shoot him while he was getting murdered by an anti-large armor-piercing duelist, and he was sitting in armored infantry. And it's like, why don't you just kill the pistols, heal while you're doing that, and stop getting shot, and then take the fight with Aranessa when you have all your abilities back up? What's going on? And then we see that game where like Race literally parks Malice in front of the entire enemy army, gets shot to shit, and then proceeds to have the closest game of the stream after throwing away his like 2,000 plus gold lord. It's just like, okay, yeah, Dark Elves could technically lose, but only if you have an aneurysm. What's happening? Have Dark Elves won a game this tourney? Yeah, Race pounded my shit in with Dark Elves. It was real fun. It was a very fun time. It was super fun, John FB. I had a ton of fun playing the Dark Elves. I had a ton of fun of Scourge Runners not taking any damage as my Black Knights and my Dire Wolves caught them outside of the formation, but instead just did 0 damage to them. I had a ton of fun, John FB. Thank you for asking if I had a fun with the Dark Elves today. Bjorn also kicked my ass with Dark Elves earlier today, and that was fun. That was very fun. When my Seekers of Slanesh caught his Scourge Runners in open field, both of them entered the fight with full HP. My Seekers left the fight with half HP, and his Scourge Runners left the fight with full HP. That was fun, John FB. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking if I've had fun with Dark Elves today. Thank you for asking if I've enjoyed fighting Malekith every single fucking game for the last 3 years of my life, John FB. Thank you for asking. Anyway. My Crushers destroyed Mali, if it makes you feel better. It does not. The Dark Elves community is throwing so Dark Elves look bad so they can get more buffs. That might be the only way to explain what just happened. Are you okay, human? Mostly. Yeah. I've just like... I mean, you're in my admin chat. You saw it, what I've been talking about. But like, I fucking hate Dark Elves, man. I hate them so much. They're dumb. Wasn't it Malice? Okay, technically, but it was mostly just this big
halberd blob. It was Marathi for a year and a half. Yeah. I just hate Dark Elves. Right now. I don't historically hate Dark Elves. When Marathi was super OP, Dark Elves were lame, and I hated them. At the end of Warhammer 2, also, when every matchup was just Scourger and Chariots and Double Assassin with their Web of Shadows, and then Marathi and 2 Manticores, that was also pretty lame. So yeah, I guess Dark Elves have been lame for actually quite a long time. But they don't have to be. That's the upsetting part, is Dark Elves could be fun, but CA just insists on they need blank overpowered Lord with Soul Stealer, and then they need Scourge Runner Chariots. Those have also always been really strong. With bugged ass hitboxes, you can't actually do anything about them. And those are what make fun roster. You're a Mayo doctor, you'll be fine without streaming. I am not a doctor, but thank you. They keep changing what's OP with Dark Elves a little bit, but it's mostly just like insert OP Lord here, Scourge Runner Chariots. And then the rest around them shifts what's good and what's not. I'm sure the February patch will fix the game. Weren't they supposed to give us more news in January and that just didn't happen? All right, we got the last game, Skaven versus Warriors of Chaos. This is Warriors of Chaos favored, but it's not unwinnable. It's not unwinnable. It is tough. Like, Sigvald can be tedious to deal with if you don't have the right stuff for him. But if you bring the stuff for him and they instead bring a Tzeentch caster or they bring Be'lakor, it's just like 3 very different styles of what you have to deal with. So it can be tough on the Lord front to predict what's coming your way. You can get rushed by Chaos Spawn and Forsaken. You could get Cav rushed. Hellstriders could be a bit of a bitch. I think Scourge Runners are... Not Scourge Runners. I think Skirmish Cav is not good in this matchup. I don't think Skirmish Cav in general is very good versus Skaven. Except for Dark Rider Repeater Crossbows. Those are good. Those are good. Those are a low-key, super strong unit that when a Dark Elf player brings them into my Skaven, I'm like, ah, fuck, this is going to be a bad game. Manticores are strong. Exalted Heroes are strong. You basically just want to do as many cheap, spooky single entities as you can, spawn, Forsaken, run at your opponent. Three days still left? Still left of what? Oh, yeah. For you, it's probably January 28th. So, yeah. You're talking about 3 days till February. Yeah. Is it Mayo doctor, like a sandwich artist? No, I work at the Mayo Clinic, but I'm not a doctor. I'm a lab development tech. Fix Azhag when? Fucking hopefully soon, dude. Hopefully soon, bruh. And while we wait for them to build their builds, if anybody's wondering what the fuck happened last game or what we're talking about, Malice sits in front of his army. He runs for a little bit. And he just kind of stops. And he proceeds to get shot. And that's how Malice Darkblade died. All right, we're in the last game. Let's go. Skavenos versus Chaos. Sigvald the Magnificent. An Exalted Hero, a Deathcaster, and a Manticore. Damn, you must be pretty clever, actual big brain rat. I'd try. I have a chemistry and a biochemistry degree. I have 2 degrees. 2. Oh, wow. Wow. All right. Okay. Oh, this map. I haven't seen this map in a long time. Cool. Swords of Chaos, it's an odd one. Yeah, it really is. So we have Apocalyptic Charge, Guardian, and Causes Fear on the Swords of Chaos. 24 models for these knights. Then we have 2 Hellstriders of Slanesh, 2 Chaos Warhounds with Poison, 3 Forsaken, which is Demon Spew, triple Marauder as well, 1 Chaos Feral Manticore, Sigvald the Magnificent. We have an Exalted Hero up on a Manticore as well, and a Chaos Sorcerer of Death with Fate of Buna and Spirit Leech. Thanks. Thanks, Mr. FB. On the other side, we have Ikit Claw with Flensing Ruin, Unlimited Power, Brass Orb, and the Musk of Fear. We have a Chieftain on a Bonebreaker with Guardian and Shield of Distraction. Okay. Then we have some Wolf Rats, some Rat Ogres, 4 Rat Ogres there, 2 Warplock Jezzails, a front line of Skaven Slaves and Clan Rats, and it looks like 2 Globes overall. I don't love this map, because I think that's all impassable terrain. Yeah, that's all impassable terrain, so one side could just hug that. Couldn't they? Or that attached to the white line, so the Skaven army is technically white line camping right now. Are the RO Knights worth the low model count? No. Usually they're pretty bad. I think this is white line camping from the Skaven, because this is inaccessible terrain, so it's not real. I guess, like, yeah, I guess you could be deploying over here. I don't know. I think he wants to avoid this big-ass tree, though, because he doesn't want it in the way of his Jezzails and whatnot. He doesn't want to be in trees, because it's hard to shoot through trees at times. When I was in school, we'd take chem class, and we wanted something easy, paid for our GPA. Oh, to pad our GPA? Yeah, I don't think chem are super easy anyway. Not my experience. I hated my chem classes. Skaven are advancing. Ikit Claws charging up. Warriors of Chaos are starting their descent into madness. Everyone loves some organic chemistry. Dude, fuck organic chemistry. That shit was the worst. That shit was the worst. You know what I actually didn't like? Biology. I didn't like biology. Because it's just not how my brain works. Like, there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't track in biology. Because it's like, oh, all mammals are the same, guys. Mammals, they have breast milk that they feed their kids, and their kids don't come out in eggs. Oh, all mammals are the same, except for the fucking platypus. Platypus are kind of weird. They're mammals. But otherwise, they're all the same, you guys. There's no exceptions to the rule. Fish are all kind of weird, except dolphin. Dolphin's mammal. Dolphin's a mammal. It's not a fish, even though it looks like a fish. It's just like... So this is memorization. There's no rules. This is just memorization. I have to remember what every fucking animal is. Because it's just... nothing obeys any of the rules. It all just cheats. Everything cheats. Everything sucks. I don't know. Biology just felt like raw memorization. Whereas, like, at least with chemistry, there was usually rules that you could figure out. Like, okay, I've never worked with the acetonitrile before, but I know how nitrogen usually interacts with things, and it's triple bonded, so it's probably going to be pretty stable. It's probably going to be hard to break down. Probably got a pretty high boiling temperature. All those things. Doesn't evaporate quickly. Alright, Chaos is setting up a super slow surround. Meanwhile, Jezzails are poking out at them. For your first beer tonight. Thanks, Cool Umbrella. Love me some Platy. Who doesn't? A lovely map. Pick white line camping or forest camping. Not enough space to avoid both. Extremely drunk in a way that was kind of dangerous to my organic chemistry labs. Ooh. Interesting. Not in a good way interesting. Interesting in a spooky way interesting. But hopefully you got through it. Manticore does land, immediately gets surrounded by Rat Ogres. Forsaken are trying to make their way in, but Jezzails, meanwhile, are just firing into the blob. Hellstriders, Dogs, and Swords of Chaos do need to come in here and try and bail out this Manticore. It looks like the Exalted Hero is also opting in, making this a huge Cleansing Ruin target. Hitting both the Manticore and the Exalted Hero. It's even overcast. This Exalted Hero has to get out of here. This is a lost cause. He needs to run. It does not look like he's going to, so he's just going to take the full damage from Cleansing Ruin. Which he actually got some pretty decent RNG on. He avoided a lot of damage from that Cleansing Ruin. Hellstriders getting in here, plus the Demon Spew Forsaken are tearing through Skaven Slave Spears. Now the Dogs, the Wolf Rats, I should say, are routing off from the Hellstriders, but with a Chieftain and a bunch more Spears, the Hellstriders themselves will also be running away soon. Cleansing Ruin is still going. Exalted Hero's lost about half his HP. The other Manticore got entirely fucked and is now running away. Cleansing Ruin does at last wear off. Poison Globes wrecking some Marauders. Hellstriders did catch up with the Warplock Jezzails, taking them down. And a Fate of Buna kills his entire Poison Globe as Siggy tries to get involved. But the Skaven have secured their far side. Rat Ogres are getting pushed off by Doggos. Swords of Chaos are here. Chaos is not out of this just yet. The Exalted Hero is also pushed off away from Ikit Claw. And Sigval won't be as much of a problem for the Skaven as we saw with the Dwarf game earlier, that like you can just Cleansing Ruin his ass to death without really interacting with him too much. So we can't rely on Siggy just to kill everything. McRight face, that is sudden, but good for you. While you sip on that beer, think of Malekith. Fuck Malekith! They never leave me. Alright, Swords of Chaos charging into some Clan Rats with Spears, but it looks like they're mostly going for the Warplock Jezzails to try to shut them down. Balance of power is about even. Race is caught back up on the damage value. Exalted Hero is back. Sigvald is still here fighting, and the Deathcaster is running around. Now for the Skaven, we still have a bunch of infantry with spears about. There's a lot of Rat Ogres. The Assassin is still healthy, and Ikit Claw is still technically healthy, though he should not be opting into a fight with Sigvald and both Manticores. But it looks like he has another Cleansing Ruin to use. It hits 3 single entities, so it is going to be another really good Cleansing Ruin cast, though. That being said, he did overcast it, I think. Yes, he overcast it, and he hurt himself with that overcast, plus got Spirit Leech, so he is going to take a bunch more damage. So the Manticore straight up dies from the Cleansing Ruin. The Exalted Hero is also on his way out. On the far side, Swords of Chaos got involved, pushed off another Poison Globe, and now they are stuck fighting some Skaven Slave Spears and Rat Ogres, so they're not loving that too much, but they have been doing good. Marauders are fighting Skaven. Marauders like fighting Skaven. Marauders do good versus Skaven. Marauders do good. Exalted Hero getting pinged down. 3, 2, 1 on the Cleansing Ruin. It looks like he will make it through. He is not dead yet, but boy, he is close. Ikit Claw going to fight some Dogs for a bit. I think he really needs to find some friends and stop being all alone. Spear surrounding the Swords of Chaos, plus Rat Ogres. Good time for the Skaven, getting some nice value back. Dogs in the distance, fighting other dogs in the distance. Another Spirit Leech onto Dr. Ikit, Dr. Claw. Exalted Hero running away. He should be able to rally in the distance. Should. So I think we'll be seeing him one more time. One more time. Celebrate a dance so free. Music's got me feeling so free. Ikit, you just literally shot your Clan Rats with spears. There wasn't even any enemies near him. You're a fucking idiot. One more time. Music got me feeling so free. I never wanted to be a Dark Elf main, you fucking liar. You fucking liar. Go Gadget Ikit needs to drop the damn rocket. You know the rockets don't exist in multiplayer. Skaven are trying to rally their disparate forces back together as Chaos is just trying to push in and keep picking them apart while they are separated. Swords of Chaos going to make sure that those globes actually go all the way off the map. And they'll come home. Siggy is currently regenerating and enjoying his life. Ikit Claw is going in for what looks like a cycle charge, but he doesn't know that Ikit Claw literally has 0 melee stats. And that was negative damage. He's going to run away, getting Spirit Leeched again. The Chieftain probably needs to do some cycle charging. The rest of Rat Ogres and Skaven rally, but Warriors of Chaos are up on the balance of power quite significantly. The Exalted Hero with the Manticore actually did go all the way off the map. The Chieftain of the Bonebreakers decides to fight Sigvald for a little bit. The Swords of Chaos are going to opt into helping him. They do have Guardian, so he will be just fine. More slaves, more spears, everybody coming in for a little bit of the fight. Hellstriders get pushed off by a full health clan rat with spear unit. Those probably need to come back to the actual fight, as Sigvald is now a majority of what's left. A majority. There's some dogs, Swords of Chaos, and a Deathcaster. On the new side, Ikit. Brad Ogre's a chieftain. And I think every Winds of Magic is going to go from the Deathcaster into Spirit Leeching Ikit. And why does Ikit have attack orders onto the Chaos Sorcerer of Death? Do you want to die, Ikit? Do you want to die, Ikit? Ikit, do not leave your entire force. There are Swords of Chaos out there, Ikit. There are Swords of Chaos waiting to beat your ass into the dirt. You get back near your forces and start getting Spirit Leeched. Clanrats of Spears, unfortunately, very healthy unit running off from the distance, chasing a Hellstrider off the map. You'll want that one back. Chieftain misses its attack animation onto Sigvald, so it didn't even matter if its stats were good enough or not. Bonebreaker models are unfortunately a little janky like that. Ikit Claw, trying to charge up another Flensing Ruin. The Bonebreaker model's back in, and he stalls, and he T-poses, and he swings. I think he actually hit that one too. Swords of Chaos are in though. Should be enough to pick off the Rat Ogre. Something is happening here. Is it another Flensing Ruin? It is. Why is it on the Swords of Chaos and not on Sigvald? That's weird. It is hitting both. Sigvald's healing cap is actually within sight, and that is a big Flensing Ruin. It's hitting a lot of stuff. Dogs are opting back in. Could this be what the Skaven need to stay in the game as Ikit Claw runs away from the Spirit Leech caster? He's like, come here, I want to Spirit Leech you. Come here, I want to Spirit Leech you. I want to come over there and give you a Spirit Leech. Chieftain runs away from from Sigvald for a little bit. Him and the Rat Ogres are trying to catch this Horse Lord. That's not going to happen at all. Ikit Claw is just running from a Spirit Leech that will end his life. Clanrats of Spears are forgotten in the distance. Dogs routed off. Swords of Chaos getting low. Sigvald getting low. Rat Ogre's coming back to fight the Swords of Chaos. Chieftain is really after this Deathcaster that he cannot catch. You will not catch him. You need to come back. Come back here. Cycle charge Sigvald, or fight the Swords of Chaos. Do not do what you're doing. Please, God, come back here. You can't catch him. Ikit gets Spirit Leeched in the distance. Do not go over there. You can't catch him. Where are you going? Sword Lord is going to fight, Sorcerer Lady Man is going to fight Ikit for a little bit. Spirit Leeches him, and then he's going to fuck off, because there is a big chieftain coming, and Ikit is going to rout. Swords of Chaos are pushed away. Sigvald is in the middle of a whole bunch of Clan Rats and Skaven Slaves and Rat Ogres. He's taking damage. Chaos is still up on the balance of power. Marauders and Dogs are coming back. These Clan Rats are just now remembered. They just start coming back right now. Ikit Claw in the trees, -6 leadership. He's still getting chased by the Horse Lord, who probably has another Spirit Leech for him, so he is probably dead. Does this guy have? He does not have the leadership thing if his lord dies. But the chieftain is going back to start cycle charging Siggy again. The Rat Ogres are pulling out to give the chieftain just a nice attack angle, which is probably for the best. Sorcerer of Death opting out of chasing Ikit Claw, whose leadership somehow got even worse. The chieftain is still trying to fight Sigvald, who has Sliver Slash activated. He does hit the chieftain right in the face. Chieftain needs to back out. Rat Ogres are going to come back in. Dogs charging Sigvald, hitting stuff. Things are about to start routing for the Skaven. Clanrats Spears coming back. Ikit Claw, not. Just not. Swords of Chaos are back. Ikit Claw, not back. Swords of Chaos back. Ikit Claw, not back. Another Spirit Leech, this time used onto the chieftain. He's taking big damage. Rats go to fight Marauders. Other rats stay to fight Sigvald. Sigvald routs off some rats. That makes other rats think about routing. And the routing rats trigger more rats to rout, including Rat Ogres. Ogre rats still going to rout. You take a rat, low leadership. Ogre, low leadership 2. Make big low leadership unit. Rat Ogre are gone. Chieftain on a Rat Ogre also going to rout because he's a rat on top of an Ogre. Double low leadership compounds into the square root of dead. Dead. Army losses hits for the Skaven. It's all over. Sigvald stamps triumphant. Swords of Chaos, back. Ikit, not back. You heard it. You heard it here first. And you guys, Skaven are too OP. They can't possibly be beaten. No, Skaven do need some nerfs, but this is one of their bad matchups. Okay, that is it. This is over. It's done. Just done. It was a pretty good game. It was pretty good. It was close. But the Skaven were not strong enough to beat Sigvald and Spirit Leech. 3,500 Ikit Claw, though, so those Flensing Ruins holding up this battle. Definitely a little overtuned. Sigvald did fine. Swords of Chaos, did okay. Exalted Hero got wrecked. Spirit Lich Caster did excellently. Other Manticore also got wrecked. Hellstriders did great. Dogs did great. Marauders did fine. But yeah, it was Flensing Ruin versus Spirit Leech. It was close. Okay. GG, well played to everybody. Congratulations to Raced for winning today's tournament. Nice job, Shogunate, getting to the finals. I also have to get going, but I hope you guys had a good time. Also, remember, kids, fuck Dark Elves. They're the worst. They are the worst, worst, worst. I hate them. They're poop. They're poop.